1, 2, 3, 4. Down to the VHS. VHS out of the VHS. It's the 18 of my business. Cause I was out of the outside doing stuff. No easy Wi-Fi blemishes, but I guess that's the way it goes. Down to the VHS. VHS out of the VHS. Got no money, fucking crack, saving up for the Betamax. Down to the VHS, VHS out of the VHS.
Are we good? I think we're good.
Hello and welcome to Obscure Tape Time, the show where we watch VHS in their entirety and invite you to suffer along with us.
From start to finish.
Yeah, look, we got the circus here with us today.
Yeah, I know I said nothing would ever come between us, but
What have you been up to all week?
aside from dealing with a sick child,
Yeah, the bit that came straight after that.
well, and was before it too.
Oh, okay. Oh, a sick
Yeah.
child just encompass everything.
He's been sick like all week.
The sick kid was the wraparound.
He kind of
Ties.
he came home from his nana's place on like after last episode, and he was like so sick that night, and he's just been on and off throwing up since.
Ugh.
But we went to wrestling. That was fun.
We went to the wrestling.
It was a good distraction for a little while.
We drank at punk rock pubs and took photos of toilet stickers and had a lot of fun.
This is the kind of crap you can see if you're in the Discord.
Yeah, join the Discord and see pictures of toilet stickers. Zoom in, flash the graphics.
We
Graphic there, right?
we definitely have to go go see some bands.
Yeah, and some more toilet stickers.
Yeah.
But hey, the reason that the circus is here is because we went to the wrestling. Unless you want to tell a story.
Do you have a story to tell?
You want a story to
Sorry?
tell? Yeah, I don't know. Anything.
I'm not sure it would be a story.
That's fine. And whenever Circus visits, he brings me presents and
That's
I got sick. And this time he brought us handgun handgun basics for self-defense
It's a weird design. Why is the 4 on the side?
and target shooting. Learn to shoot revolvers and semi-automatic pistols. Now, you got this on the eBays,
I
correct?
did. I got this on the eBays.
Anything else about it? No. Tell me, you do have a story. Tell me why you decided to buy handgun basics off the eBays for us.
Because I watched multiple like found footage fest and red letter media and stuff like that, and there's a running through line that self-defense videos are amazing.
Yeah.
And then I went online and paid way too much for one.
So this would have been delivered from Americas. We
Yeah.
brought it here, even though like our biggest draw is like no one knows about Australian things, but I still love getting the American tapes and watching them because it makes
I'm cool
us
with everything.
interested. So yeah, this is brought out by a weird ass looking couples. I say weird because I don't know. Well,
They look very of their time.
they are very of their
Gills.
kind.
And they're definitely
McGills.
it look very early 90s, I would say.
Yeah, Tammy
my guess.
McGill and
Late
Lenny
80s,
McGill.
perhaps.
Maybe early 90s that still look like it, late 80s. You know how that sort of
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm definitely thinking that we're early 90s.
So I'll check the actual date. I didn't. 1994. You're right.
Ooh, that's more mid, but
Oh,
that's
mid.
Close. That's close.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is these people look like they would be dressed at their own time. They'd be dressed like 5 years late or something. Yeah. So I gave them a quick look up this morning. Tammy and Lenny still do gun stuff, but then their
The primary.
primary focus is selling sportswear like leggings and stuff that you go running in.
So no
Have
assault rifles
holsters.
and
Yeah, so you can always
missed-
be carrying even when you're not carrying.
Yep. They're tights with holsters. Underoos for men, you know, like the sculpting ab thing that have the thing.
I hear it's an idea.
That's what they do now.
Of all the ideas I've heard, it's one of them.
Yeah. Just in case you're on a jog and you just want to pop a few off. Or someone tries to pop a few off on you and you're like, no, I'll pop a few off on you.
Yeah.
And then everybody's safe.
Everybody's
Exactly.
so safe.
So because
When
this
everybody's
is
strapped, everybody's safe.
NTSC, we can't be bothered putting it in our things and trying to.
Mm.
The thing about our VCRs,
I'll get there eventually.
our VCRs play them fine. It's the cable that connects them to the computer that doesn't understand the difference.
Yeah, I think some of them interpret the signals differently. Like, I have a cheap, shitty capture card somewhere that'll read it just fine.
Yeah.
I just have to find it. And there's so much stuff in that shed. Anyway, let's get to it.
Yeah, press the plays because we ripped it and we don't have to put the physical in. I can pretend. Hold on, I pretend. Oh, listen to that music.
That isn't very straight, is it? Let's try just put that a bit more in the middle here. There we go. That'll do.
On the video camera. Oh, within 30 days of delivery.
Oh, where'd you get it?
Man.
It was more than 30 days ago.
Look at those blues.
Thousands of times.
Settings here, shall we?
Blues.
Make it like a scooter.
No, play with too much there. Saturation all the way up.
Why are you messing with us when there's clouds and words? It reminds me of Touched by an Angel. Which, if we get on the
if you
wrong
get
side
shot.
of him, we
Ooh,
will.
really bad.
Safe shooting!
Hey, it's copyrighted by Just Lenny Video.
Aw, that's
Today-
Tammy.
Today,
Tammy.
it's
I'm sure
safe
it was
to say
Tammy's
that more
idea that
people
she
own
wanted to
firearms than
go
at
to
any
the-
other time in history.
Gun
The
in
reason
it.
for owning firearms may vary from person to person. Some own
They
guns for
are
recreation,
correct.
others for competition,
Way
hunting,
before that.
collecting, target shooting, and of
Always
course,
going up.
many people own firearms for self-defense. It is a fact that more people are involved in some aspect of the shooting sports than most
Anyways,
other
what's up in
sports
Austria?
combined.
How's the new chair?
What?
treating
What?
you?
Is that a fact?
It is.
I believe that is not a fact.
Whoa, that handgun's got a scope.
Yeah. It's like Borderlands.
Looks like a handgun that I'd make out of a Nerf gun and bits of old kids' telescope.
Ah, he's got an old-timey one.
Quick, shoot him while he has 10 minutes to reload.
It's good music.
As firearm ownership increases,
Look at
in
that.
particular handgun ownership,
That's why I assumed
so does the
early
need
90s.
for handgun owners to be skilled in safe, responsible handgun shooting and storage. Hi, I'm Lenny McGill.
And I'm Tammy McGill. And this program will show you step-by-step, easy-to-follow information regarding handgun basics for self-defense and target shooting.
We'll cover two of the most popular styles of handguns. The revolver,
Just two.
known for its revolving cylinder, and
Oh,
the
that's why they-
semi-automatic, known for its
That's what the
high-capacity
bullets
magazine and its automatic reloading
Hey,
capability.
let's see if you curve the bullets like in
Then
one.
we'll look at handgun shooting techniques that will make you a more accurate and confident shooter.
Finally, we'll discuss self-defense and how to use a handgun in an emergency situation. But first, the most important aspect of firearm ownership is safety. Firearms are like any other type of
The
machine.
safest way to own a
will
handgun
provide
is to
years of
not
enjoyment.
own a handgun.
But if a
The
firearm
safest way
is
to
not
own a
treated with
handgun
respect,
is to own an
if you
assault
play
rifle.
around with a gun or become complacent with safety
I'm
procedures
just
for
thinking of
just
the
even
different
a second,
emergency
a
procedures when
life
we
could
need
be
a
lost,
handgun. Like,
and your
if
life
Fred
could be shattered
needed
as you know it.
CPR,
Let's review the 10 basic rules
there's
of
a fire.
firearm safety used by the National Rifle
Fire
Association
with firepower.
and most
Yeah.
other
Alright,
shooting
let's
Take that
organizations.
fire bank.
Rule number 1. Always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction, and always
Which
treat
direction
every
is
gun
safe?
as if it were loaded.
At your
This is the
enemies.
primary rule of gun safety.
Right.
A safe direction means that the gun is pointed, so that even if it were to go off,
Little
it
to
would
the
not
left of
cause
that child
injury,
over there.
damage, or death. By
There's
treating
no way
every
you
gun
can
as if it were
avoid
loaded, you
causing
can avoid
injury,
the most
damage, or
common
death.
mistake that leads
It's
to
a
an
gun.
accidental
Yeah,
shooting.
it doesn't. You
Never
shoot
point a
anything, it's
gun
gonna damage it.
loaded or unloaded at anything or anybody that you do not intend to shoot.
Oh, lip gloss. Look at that shit.
Rule number 2. Always keep your finger off the trigger until you are ready to shoot.
This is a big
You
thing
can
that
rest your finger
throws
on the
me out
trigger
some
guard
movies, is I
or
know
along
this
the
bit.
side of the gun
Yeah.
until you're ready to
They
fire.
run around with their
But
finger
always
in the
keep your
hoop.
finger
Yep.
off of the trigger
So annoying.
until you're ready to shoot.
Rule number 3. Always keep the gun
safe,
unloaded until you are ready to use it for your chosen activity. Whenever
Your
you pick up a
chosen
gun,
activity.
immediately
Stop,
open the action
murderer.
to check and see
I am
if it
now
is
ready
empty
to
or
use
loaded.
my gun.
Later in this program, we
And
will show you
then-
how to do just that with a variety of handguns.
Rule number 4. Know how to use a gun safely and
That's what this is
properly. Before handling and
Buy
shooting a
our
gun,
video.
learn how it
I'm pretty
operates.
sure we're going to get a lot of
Know
buy
its
our video
basic
at the end of
parts,
this. I'm pretty
how
sure
to
I saw a
safely
catalog
open
at the
and
end.
close the action, and how to load and unload the gun.
Rule number 5. When shooting, know your target area and what is beyond.
Oh, you have to
This
know about
means
the
observing your
Yeah.
prospective area of fire before you shoot.
That's exactly where my head
Never
is.
fire in a direction in
If you
which
shoot
there are
this
people,
man and he was
houses,
actually pious,
cars,
he
or
will go to
livestock.
heaven. That's
Keep in
on you.
mind that modern ammunition can travel up to 1 mile. If you are
Whoa.
shooting in the direction of
It's
a
a little
hill,
army man.
be careful
Phew.
not to
I think
fire
I played
above
this
it
game.
or beyond. And never shoot bullets up into the air. They will come back down at deadly speeds and you could even kill yourself.
Rule number 6. Never use alcohol or drugs before or while shooting. Now this is fairly obvious. Many
if you
accidental
ever
shootings
intend
and
to use a
deaths are
gun, you
caused
can't
because
ever
of
do
careless handling of firearms associated with drinking or with drugs.
Damn it.
You want to
Damn.
drink and
Yeah.
drive, and you certainly shouldn't drink
I
and
use
shoot.
that for alcohol to
become
clean all
a
sorts of
statistic.
machine parts. I
Rule
thought it
number
would have been
7.
the same.
Be sure the gun is well maintained and safe to operate. Just like other tools, guns need regular maintenance to remain in good working order.
Yeah.
Rule number 8. Use only the
Wait,
correct
what kind of
ammunition
things?
for your gun. Do not shoot a
Just
gun
do it.
unless
Nope.
you are absolutely
Find
sure you
out the
have the
information
proper
elsewhere.
ammunition. Only the manufacturer's
See our
specified
other
ammunition
video.
can be fired safely in that gun. Again, if you have a question, check with your local gun
Like that
store.
gun hiding
Rule
in the
number
background.
9. When shooting, or when you're around a shooting range, always wear eye and ear protection. Guns are
Yeah,
loud and
hang
can
on,
cause
hold on, Mother.
permanent hearing damage. They can also emit debris and hot gases that could cause serious
There's a lot
eye injury.
of prep work you have to
Protect
do
the only
before
eyes and ears you
self-defending.
have.
That's
Rule
why
number 10.
in fights
Store
you always got to
guns
hinge
so they are
in
not
first.
accessible to children and unauthorized persons. In many states, it is a law that if your firearm is not stored safely and it's stolen, mishandled by a child, or used in a crime or an accidental shooting, you, the gun owner, could be held liable.
Oh
Someone with a gun could be held liable for where the bullet
The
goes.
most common type
It's
of handgun
terrible.
is the revolver. The revolver is
Wasn't
known
even
for
my
its
bullet.
revolving cylinder, and this is what holds the
Borrowed it
ammunition.
off a friend.
There are 4 basic parts to this handgun: the barrel, the frame, the cylinder, and the trigger group. Barrels
the
for
trigger
revolvers are
Yeah.
available in many different lengths. Most commonly,
That's the one with the scope.
2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches. There are 2
Impressive, doesn't
different
it?
types of revolvers. Single action, like
Right.
this
Can-
Freedom Arms
Can you
Conceal
imagine how small the
454,
penises
and
of all those men
double
with the
action,
scoped
like
8
this
inches
Smith & Wesson
going
Model
around with?
66 357
Big
Magnum.
doses.
And it's
Yeah,
important that you know the
absolutely.
difference about how they
You
operate.
think the bigger
First,
gun you have,
let's
the
take a
bigger
look
your
at the
schlong is?
single action revolver.
Those rocket launcher guys strapping it to their leg.
Definitely.
The rocket launcher?
I'd drive a tank
So they
to
can
work.
try and
This is
see
the type of handgun that was made famous in Western movies. it looks similar to any other type
You
of
think I'm
revolver,
wearing
with a
a
few
backpack,
exceptions.
but that's just it all
Notice that the
spooled up.
trigger is very close to the rear of the trigger guard. This is because the trigger performs only
Double
one
action
action
and
to
single
drop the hammer. Hence the name
Drop the hammer.
single action. To fire this gun,
Drop
you pull the hammer back
handles-
to the
hammer
cocked
single
position
action
with
also
your
sounds
thumb.
like a 90s record.
Then, aim the gun at your intended target and engage the trigger with a very slight pressure. The hammer will fall, and the gun will fire.
Just waiting for the hammer to fall.
To shoot again, you must pull the hammer back once again. This advances the cylinder to the next chamber, which holds a new cartridge, and then again you pull the trigger.
I like her belt.
Her hair kind of looks like Kennedy Smollett.
This is the Casull
Her hair looks
454
like Bon
single-action
Jovi.
revolver. Now, to load this gun, first you want
He
to
wishes he was
open
Bon
the
Jovi.
loading gate, which
Then you
usually
could have
located
all the
here on
guns.
the right side. You can do that
Dead
with
or
your thumb.
alive.
Not
This gives you
his
access to
hair.
the chambers. Now, to revolve the cylinder, first you must half-cock the hammer.
I don't
You'll
know
hear
what
this
he's done
on the
with his
first
hair.
click.
He looks like
Miami.
This allows
he
you
looks
to
like early
rotate
2000s
the
Bon
cylinder,
Jovi.
which gives access to each one of the chambers.
There, it's
Oh.
both
To load,
It's a crossover
take the
episode.
Bon
cartridge
Jovi.
and drop it into each cylinder, and then you advance to the next one.
Hi, John.
Another
Hi,
cartridge.
John.
Mm.
Next chamber,
Next chamber. Bullet.
and finally the
Well,
fourth
we're
chamber.
halfway there.
Then you would close the loading gate, and this is where you're going to be very careful. Get a firm grip on the pistol, thumb on,
the camera should
cock it
never
all the
look
way
at
back.
the gun.
and then
on.
hold on strong and release the trigger, and slowly let the hammer down onto the firing pin. Now, the gun is loaded, so you always, of course, want to keep it pointed in a safe direction. To unload, you just reverse the procedure.
Lucky they're in the desert.
Open the loading gate, half cock,
How many
the hammer,
coyotes
you
do
hear
you
that
think
click?
they accidentally shot?
advance to the first chamber, and then you use the extraction rod. And the extraction rod is spring
The
activated. You
McGills
use your
are
index
personally
finger,
responsible
and you pull
for
back on it,
a coyote shortage.
and it pushes the round right out of the chamber. Then you advance to the next chamber. Once again,
Like a magic
and
trick.
for our last round with the
Oh,
extraction.
wrong
I'm
video.
gonna make these
And
bullets
you'll see a good shot of extraction right
disappear.
here as it came up all the way through the chamber. Now, single-action revolvers are slightly more difficult and slower to use than double-action revolvers. However, with practice, you can become very proficient in their use, as demonstrated in this video clip from the End of Trail Cowboy Competition.
Ooh.
Cowboys.
End of trail.
Competing with a handgun is one of the most enjoyable sports you can undertake, and there are competitions for almost every type of handgun made. In this particular tournament, competitors shoot guns from the Old West era, single-action revolvers, lever-action rifles, and side-by-side shotguns. You'll notice that this shooter is using his left thumb to cock the hammer of the revolver. They are scored on speed as well as accuracy. Now, here's Dennis Ming. He's the overall champion at the 1993 End of Trail Cowboy Shoot-Off.
So you missed the last one.
Yeah, you might have, yeah.
That's why so many cowboys die. Even the best of the best can't get the ball. Do-do-do.
The
Sounds like a
double-action
user fault.
revolver is named so
It is.
because one trigger pull performs two distinctive actions. As you pull the trigger, the action rotates the cylinder,
I really did
and as
want
you
them
pull
to
the
just be
trigger
like
further, it drops the
Efficient
hammer.
killing machines, didn't
There is
they?
no need to cock the hammer with your thumb.
Yes.
It is cocked by the first
I know.
action of the trigger, and the
I
second
thought they
action
were
causes
the
the hammer to
McGills were
fall,
a brother and
which in
sister
turn
duo,
fires the
but they
gun.
have completely different accents.
Most
so
double-action
it might be a
revolvers
couple.
can be fired single-action style by cocking
is
the
America,
hammer
so
back
it's
all the
possible they're
way
both.
and then squeezing the trigger.
All three.
The double-action revolver is the preferred gun for beginning shooters and basic self-defense. You will notice there
it
is
not
usually not a safety on revolvers because of the action needed to cock the hammer. Double-action revolvers are very easy to operate and to fire multiple shots. Most modern revolvers are infallible, and if kept in good condition, they may never break and
Yeah,
can even
that's
last a
never
lifetime.
the gun's fault. They're infallible. Loading and unloading.
To load the
Again.
double-action revolver,
Concealment pillows.
simply drop one cartridge into each chamber
Deadly accidents while floating on the couch.
And then
Apparently,
close the
he's made
cylinder.
over 300 of these videos.
The
by way.
handgun is now
Oh,
ready to fire.
fucking hell.
It gives you one new piece of information each time.
Concealment pillows.
Concealment pillow.
Is she?
Now, loading a double-action revolver is extremely important
You
to follow
can-
the
I can hear the
basic
puff in the
rule of safety,
background,
either loading
but
or
they
unloading.
did say that it
Always
went
keep the muzzle
pretty
pointed
far.
in a
so
safe direction.
you could have shot beyond.
And that way, no matter what happens, you won't have any bad accidents.
Bad accidents.
Once again, keep that muzzle pointed downrange as you close the cylinder. Now, there's 3 different ways to pull the
When
trigger
I was a kid,
on this
I knew
double-action
one
gun.
person who had
You can
any
do a
firearm, and that was my
continuous,
uncle who has hunting
smooth trigger
rifles, and
pull.
I never got to see them
And
until I was
kind of just
much
let it
older.
roll straight back and surprise you.
Sister or wife?
The key here is to
Yeah.
pull straight back, not to yank the gun one way
It's
or
totally
the
fine.
other
It's
with
alright.
too much pressure
Seems
that way
like
or
it.
too much pressure this way. The
I mean,
key,
their
once again, is
accents
to
are
roll
completely different, so unless they were
straight
raised in
back.
different households.
Now, another way to shoot this gun, and this has happened a lot in competition, is to stage the trigger. There's really 2 different functions here. One is to rotate the cylinder to the next chamber, and the next function of the trigger is to drop the hammer. So I'll stage the trigger, pull back,
So stupid.
and
They are
pause.
husband and wife.
So
Now all you have is
expensive.
just a little bit more pressure to drop
Hey,
the
you
hammer.
looked them up, James? You should check
This
out
is
the
called
the
staging the
underoos they produce.
Pull back and stop,
It's just asking for trouble, isn't
and
it?
pull.
Ask.
And you can be very accurate that way because you're not
perfect for
pulling
the
the sights
gun
off with the trigger
Blow off
pull.
their ass, boy.
The last
I
way
kinda want a
is
pair or
to
two,
thumb
but,
cock the hammer,
for
much
Nerf
like
guns
a
and
single action revolver.
candy bars and stuff.
Back all the way.
I mean, that's
now
a good
there's
point.
very slight
They're just very
pressure,
expensive.
Everything's
drop
in
the hammer.
pockets.
and that's the
Sir,
thumb
are
cocking
you
method.
hiding a concealed candy bar?
No.
I have a carry license.
Either way, they're all very accurate. And it's
Diabetic. Need to
basically
show.
a personal preference, and depending upon what you're doing with the gun at that time.
There are many
Revolvers
different
and
makes and
things.
models of revolvers,
I've
and
seen
they each
people
have their
grind
advantages
up
and
herbs with them.
disadvantages depending on their intended use. There are large revolvers
use them
and
for
small
pistol
revolvers. Some are meant for
Use them
hunting.
as a hammer.
Some are designed for target and competition shooting, while others are intended to be carried for long periods of time in a concealed position.
What?
If you are purchasing
You
a
mean, like,
handgun
never
for
taking it off,
self-defense,
or-
we have several
Like sticking
suggestions.
it in your underwear.
First, make sure that you're buying a gun
3
of high
months.
quality. Purchase a handgun from one of the major manufacturers, Smith & Wesson,
You imagine after
Colt,
you
Taurus,
forgot
and
to
Ruger, to
unload
name
your
a few.
underwear and like,
There are many
banging
top
around
quality
and-
revolvers available. Second, buy a gun
Damn
that
you,
feels good in
McHills.
your hand. Not too big, not too
Buy a
small.
gun that feels good in
Smith
your
& Wesson is now making
feels
revolvers
good
designed
in my
specifically
hand.
for women,
It's
with
like
a
an
smaller grip
extension
and
of
lighter
my
overall
penis.
weight. For self-defense, we
I'm gonna
recommend
need
that
the
you use
8-inch
a
with the
revolver
scope,
that has
please.
a 2 or 4-inch
I
barrel
can feel
length.
it getting larger.
It will be lighter and easier to bring into action
It's like
than
it's
a longer
somebody else's
pistol.
gun.
And finally,
I know it's
purchase
not.
a handgun in
It's
a suitable
mine.
caliber. Whether for hunting, target shooting, or self-defense,
Yeah.
there is a correct caliber that will help you maximize your efforts. Now let's take a look at semi-automatic pistols.
Quoting.
Semi-auto. Somebody said that.
The semi-automatic pistol is a much more complicated handgun than a revolver. There are many moving parts and springs to keep it functioning properly.
If he's done
and it takes more
300 of
strength and
these,
skill to shoot
then I want to see that
semi-automatic pistols.
301st tape
The
that just
semi-automatic
gets all the
pistol
stuff that's off
is
the floor
called
of him, like,
semi-automatic
pinching his
because of
finger
its
in the
ability
mechanics,
to
so
automatically
accidentally firing a
cycle a
weapon
new
somewhere.
round into the chamber.
Oh shit, did I
after
get
a
you,
shot
honey?
is fired.
Uh-oh.
5 major
We're gonna
parts
need a
to
new
this
Tammy.
firearm. The barrel, the frame,
Gonna need another
the
tabby.
slide, the trigger group, and the magazine. The magazine holds the ammunition, and depending on the make and model of the handgun, it can hold 5 to 15 rounds or even more. Semi-automatic pistols are available in many different calibers, and like revolvers, are available in single action and double action. First, let's examine a single action semi-automatic pistol.
The first thing you must do when you handle any
She's got
firearm
those
is to check and
Brett the
see
Hitman hot
if it is
glasses.
unloaded. Once
looks
the
like she's
magazine
from the
release button
future.
is depressed,
And because she's standing
Pull
in
the
a
magazine
quarry
from the
or
bottom of
ravine
the
or whatever,
frame.
she looks like she's from one of those
then
low-budget
pull
sci-fi
back the
films.
slide to extract any round that
maybe
is
a-
still in the chamber.
A Toku or something.
Be sure to keep your finger out and away from the ejection port when you pull back the
Time,
slide.
gun
You
safety,
can lock
and
the slide back
self-defense.
with a
Yeah.
slide lock lever located
Just like
on this pistol
Time Cop 2.
on the left side of the frame. Now you can release the
You
slide,
gotta help us. You're a
and with the
cop,
pistol
right?
pointed in a
No,
safe
I just do
direction,
self-defense.
drop the hammer
Firearm
on
training.
the empty chamber by pulling the trigger.
I came back from the
Now you have an
future to tell
unloaded
you all about it.
semi-automatic pistol.
Ooh, finally.
This is a Colt
Why is
45
that
caliber
so
semi-automatic
triumphant?
pistol.
Yay!
Load
You've
this
got a gun
I'm
now.
going to keep the muzzle pointed in a
Yeah,
Yeah,
safe
but they didn't
direction.
care about the revolvers that much.
Yeah,
this one's more
This one's
Magazine
semi-auto.
located at the
Like,
bottom
look at all these
revolvers
bullets we
of the
have.
pistol.
The revolvers came
You'll
with the
feel and
tutorial
hear
level.
a distinctive click when it is properly seated.
You know
Then
it's
you
better
want
if
to
there's
pull
more
back
hit.
the slide, and I like to grasp it with my thumb and forefinger of
With thumb
my
and
left
forefinger.
hand. Pull back
I
the slide
like
all
to
the
do
way,
it. You don't
and then
have
let
to.
it go under the
Some
internal
people are
springs that are
more of a
located
palm pull
inside
guy.
the slides. A cartridge will be picked up by this return
Okay,
action, and now there is a cartridge resting inside of the chamber. You'll note here that the hammer is now cocked back. It is now ready to drop on the firing pin with just a slight pressure on the
I know
trigger,
so much more.
like so.
Bang!
Now, if you're not ready yet to shoot this gun, you can apply the manual safety, which is this lever right here.
Safety.
It's usually found on the
It's like you have
left-hand side of
trouble with
most
that word.
pistols.
I have trouble with all the words.
All
He's so
semi-automatic
used
pistols, or most
to
semi-automatic
being around
pistols,
guns
have a
that he
safety
forgot what the word
similar to
safety
this that is
means.
located on this left-hand side of the frame. Now, once again, even though the safety is applied, you should always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction, because after all,
Sorry,
safety is just a piece of steel,
I
and
had
someday
trouble
it could
calling
break,
it a safety because I'm
and you
used
don't
to
want to
calling
rely
it
on the safety
the pussy
to cause an
mechanism.
accidental shooting.
Because if you don't want to
Now,
shoot
to
somebody,
shoot this
you're
gun,
probably a
again,
pussy.
Oh,
release the safety,
I hate him and he's
apply a
cocky
slight
pants.
pressure to the trigger,
Got a cool
and
belt though.
squeeze. Now, when you shoot the
Right-wing
last round,
Americans always
the
have cool
slide will
belts.
lock back, showing an empty
Yeah, they
chamber.
gotta hide their
See
guns
here,
in them.
the slide is
Yeah,
locked
I
back.
kind of want gun hiding belts, but as I said,
What you would do
for,
is
like,
drop the magazine,
candy bars and stuff.
make sure that it is in fact empty, and then
how I
visually
have to.
inspect inside the chamber
Uh-huh.
to make sure that there are no rounds that are left or caught or
Yep.
or somehow didn't get extracted. You visually want to look in there. And from there, you can lower the slide back by pulling back slightly and then releasing. And then drop the hammer on an empty chamber. The gun is now ready to be put away and
I
stored
really
for
like
future
it in
use.
stupid action films
Semi-automatic
where
pistols
people are
are
so
also
fast they
available
come up
in
to you and
double
take the
action.
gun apart.
This is a
Yep.
9mm double-action semi-automatic pistol. It operates the same as a single-action semi-automatic, except that the trigger, like in a double-action revolver,
She could
can
hide a gun
perform
in a
two
turtleneck.
actions. One, to
And in
cock
her
the
hand.
hammer, and two,
I'd like 10 in her head.
to drop the hammer to start the firing sequence. Or
The
you may
framing of that
operate the
shot.
gun like a single-action semi-automatic pistol and manually cock the hammer.
She
And
cocked
press
it
the
right near
trigger.
her breasts.
The trigger
Yeah.
simply drops the hammer and starts the firing action. Most double-action pistols have a decocking lever along with or instead of a safety.
A
This
decocking
decocking lever
level.
enables
I
you
don't
to
wanna
lower
be
the hammer
decocked. I saw
without
that. I was in
striking
Sin City,
the firing pin. This allows you to carry the gun with
What's
a
the
round
point of
in the
even having a
chamber
gun if you shoot
with the hammer down.
Yeah.
Always remember to keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. To fire
Did
the
you notice
gun,
how she kind of
push the
shifted
flight
a little
pressure
bit
to
when
the
she said
trigger,
that?
the
Yeah,
hammer will
she's
cock,
getting dangerously
then
close to
fall
aiming at the
to begin
cameraman.
the firing sequence.
If there is a man behind the camera. Could be a tripod.
I thought you were going to say a child.
Could be a child.
Could be a child.
Bang.
That's why the McGills don't have any kids. The McGills don't have any kids because they're shooting blanks.
Aww. But they've got 3 kids. That was information
Now
provided
let's take a
only
look at
for
how
a
to
joke.
load the
In
magazine
reality,
of a
they have 3
semi-automatic pistol.
children.
This is the Glock Model 22, and this is its magazine.
Can
It
we
holds
put up a
15
display
rounds
where
of
it
40
says
caliber ammunition. First,
The,
note that there
the-
is a forward
The
position
opinions
for the
discussed
magazine.
don't reflect
The open
reality.
end will be facing towards
Rarely
the
if ever
barrel.
reflect reality.
The magazine is placed into the magazine well, facing towards the barrel. Now, the ammunition is placed in the magazine with the bullet end facing towards this opening. What you want to do is take a cartridge in
What
your
happens
hand
if you put the bullet in backwards?
and
Please tell us.
Comes
place
out
it on
backwards.
the magazine follower, which has
That's
a
all.
spring
It
inside of
doesn't
it,
explode the
and
entire
press
gun.
down slightly so that the bullet is caught in the magazine
Yeah, what's the
lip.
section where they debunk Hollywood myths?
Then take another round,
I was watching the
and
Slender
using
guys blow up
your
guns.
left thumb or your right thumb, depending on what hand you are, push down slightly
The Mythbusters did
on the loaded
Hollywood.
cartridge. Take another cartridge,
They did
place it
the,
on top of the other one,
curvy bullet thing.
push
didn't they?
down and back,
They also did the
and it too
blowing
will
up
be
a
caught
car by
within the magazine
shooting it.
lips. Again, down
They should do the Age
and
of
back. And you can
Empires
repeat this procedure
destroying a castle
until the
by hitting it
magazine
with a
is
sword.
completely full. And most magazines have what they call
ching,
witness
ching.
holes in the rear
Eventually,
to tell you
it
how
will
many
work.
rounds are actually loaded. Now, newer magazines will have newer springs, and they in turn are harder to operate
Are they
than
sharing glasses,
an
or
older
does he have his
magazine.
own
But
pair?
once the magazine gets broken in, it is a little easier to load.
Let's pay more
you have
attention.
any
He's got like a
questions
little
about
white
this
strip
loading
on the top of the
process,
middle. We'll see if
Loading
she
the rounds
has
into the
same-
magazine chamber, what kind of rounds, what the position is, please go down to your gun store and ask the owner or one of the clerks. They'll be happy to help you out.
There are
Turns
many
out for a
different
gun
types
store.
of semi-automatic pistols available to you, and each is designed for a particular purpose. Along with a huge selection of handguns is a large selection of ammunition and calibers for both semi-automatic pistols and revolvers. Here's a look
Oh.
at some.
Look at that change in
The
focus.
25 caliber, the 22
Giving it a
caliber,
real pull.
380,
380.
the 40 caliber, the 45 caliber,
Colt
9
45.
millimeter,
Yeah.
the 10 millimeter, and there are several others. When
There's
purchasing
several
a
of them.
semi-automatic
Hey,
pistol, we
I bought
recommend
this
that
video
you buy
for
a firearm
information.
through your local dealer
Give me that
made by
information.
one of the major manufacturers. If you are purchasing a handgun for self-defense, we recommend that you buy one of the larger calibers, either a 9 millimeter or a 45. If you are a new gun
It's
owner,
called a
we
9 millimeter,
suggest
but
that you
some
take a
people
take
class
it close.
or get personal instruction from a qualified instructor.
Take glass.
One of the advantages a semi-automatic pistol has over a revolver is increased ammunition capacity.
Because you
Most new
definitely want to
generation
shoot more.
semi-automatic
Yeah,
pistols can
just in
carry
case there's
12,
more bad
13,
guns.
or 14
right.
rounds. This Glock pistol can carry 18 rounds of 9 millimeter ammunition. However, there are disadvantages with semi-automatic pistols. One,
Disadvantages
the
to
gun
a
is
gun.
much more complex to operate.
They're
with more
complicated.
moving
No, only
parts than
compared to other
revolver.
guns.
Oh.
2. It is difficult to load and prepare to fire. 3. Semi-automatics can malfunction for several reasons.
What?
Bad ammunition, poor shooting grip, or flinching while pulling the trigger.
To
Don't
It's
flinch
flinch.
very important that you incorporate proper shooting techniques when shooting a semi-automatic pistol or a revolver.
Oh, so going like this.
Before you
Blah, blah,
actually
blah.
begin shooting,
That's right.
you must have the
That's how
proper
you do
safety
it.
equipment.
You don't do it the other way.
Standard items, such as a quality pair of shooting glasses and proper ear protection, like these ear muffs or these foam earplugs, are mandatory.
Oh, we're making fun of the like retro glasses, but they're the protection. They're being responsible.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are 4 basic fundamentals of pistol shooting:
Is that why Brett the Hitman
Grip.
hat used to wear 'em?
Yeah, because he
Stance,
was always firing shots.
sight alignment and sight
Right.
picture, and trigger
You had to
control.
protect everybody from them
All
guns.
4 are equally important for accurate and consistent shooting.
Aim for the head.
Now, the grip you use will be what feels most comfortable for you, regardless if it's a revolver or a semi-automatic pistol. Using an unloaded gun, hold the gun in your non-shooting hand, and with your
Both
shooting
hands are
hand,
shooting
grasp
hands.
the grip with the web between your thumb and forefinger as
He'd
high
be
on the
really
frame as
into
possible.
guns.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your finger out of the trigger area. This is a one-handed grip, and it can be used in shooting, in emergency, or self-defense, and also for target shooting. The key is not to grip
in
the gun
fact, you can
too
use it
tightly
for
so your
anything.
fingers
You don't
are
even
teeth.
have to shoot a person
Now, for accurate
if you don't
controlled
want.
fire, it's probably best to use a two-handed grip.
You probably
Take
should.
the
but
non-shooting hand
You don't have
and
to.
wrap it around
Oh,
the shooting hand with your fingers
is this
all
one of
the
those
way
guns
around.
where you can have one in
Now, I'm
the
going to close
chamber?
the cylinder here so you can get a better idea what this looks
Because
like.
he's putting right
You've got
at
your
the...
shooting hand,
No, it's
one-handed
not.
hold.
No.
Take the
That's the
non-shooting
other
hand
the
and wrap it
semi-automatics.
all the way around there and keep your thumb down and out of the way. You don't want
These
to wrap
ones
your thumb
have
up
to
around this way
remain
because that's
inside
really
the
not as comfortable and not as
cylinder until
strong
they get
that if you
wider.
keep this left hand here. What you're doing is this left hand is
Unless-
basically a support hand.
Make
It's
a
Unless you-
supporting
hybrid.
the pistol
Throw it
when you bring
really
it up to fire.
fast.
It's supporting it
So
for
make a
recoil.
hybrid between the two.
And once again, You will
Well,
actually
no,
want to hold
semi-automatic
your finger with your left hand than you
revolvers.
do with your right hand,
So like
It has all the
because it'll
strengths and
allow
none
you
of
to
the
control
weaknesses.
a bunch of
recoil
magazines on a
and at the same
revolving
time not
thing.
fatigue your right hand,
Playboy.
which is basically the hand you're using to pull the
Playboy.
trigger with.
Yeah, Playboy magazines.
One-handed shooting is used in some
No,
competitions
you can
and
only
in
get
emergency self-defense
the
situations.
McGill's
The key here
gun
is to have a
magazine.
firm grip on the
Video
gun and a
magazines.
strong wrist. Now you can shoot from here,
Whoop!
or
He
you can
shot
shoot
from the hip.
with the gun all the way up here. Once again, the key is to have a good grip on the gun and
You're gonna
have
tell
a
us about
firm,
side
strong
grips?
wrist,
Yeah.
so that you're able
Yeah,
to
holding it
follow
sideways.
through
That's what we want to know about.
all the way.
Otherwise, we
Now,
look like
using
a
the two-handed
dog.
grip, you can shoot from a variety
He does
of
look
positions.
like a dog.
You
You're
can shoot
right.
from
He's tucked
here,
his pants.
you can
He's
shoot
shed
from
into
here,
his
and you
khaki
can shoot from the
pants.
gun all the way up.
Even though
Either
he has
way,
a gun,
it's
I'd
very
still
effective,
call him a
as you'll see.
douchebag.
Dweeb.
You dweeb.
Depending upon what situation you have.
You look like
The
a
two-handed
dog,
grip is the
Lenny.
preferred method
But what are you
because
gonna
have
do?
much more
Point your gun in
control
an unsafe
of the handgun.
direction?
Stance is the next
Well,
item
when,
in our
when the
formula
NRA
for
do their
accurate
Australian
shooting.
tour, I'll take you
This
and you can
involves
tell
your
him
body
to his face.
position when
I
shooting.
would
Your
happily.
feet should be shoulder width apart,
There'd
and
be
your
so many
weight should be
bullets in your
equally
body.
distributed.
They aren't bringing
on
rifles
both
into the
feet.
country.
Bend your knees slightly and relax your
You have to
muscles.
fight an old man.
Look how
You should be
tight
leaning
those
forward,
jeans are.
but not too much.
guarantee
so
that
that
there'd
you
be a
lose your
line.
balance.
That there's
Your
If the
comfort is
NRA
very
was doing
important,
a
and you
thing
should
here,
be able to stand
there would
in
be a
this
line of
position
people wanting to
for
tell them to
quite
fuck
some
off back
time.
home.
Some individuals like to have
even
both
though
feet
those
squared
jeans
up
are
to
super
an
tight,
imaginary
still
line.
concealing at least 3
Others
guns.
like to have one leg
Actually,
slightly
look
in back of the other. In my case,
I was gonna say,
I
how many
like to have
guns are
my
in her
left
shoes,
leg
do you think?
slightly behind my right leg.
At
Because
least
I
one
shoot
in
with my
each.
left
She doesn't
hand,
have feet.
feels better to have my
My
stance
toes
tilted
are
to the left.
guns.
Just like
Keys to stand
Lenny
are
is
stability,
so into
weight
guns that he
transfer, balance,
turned
and comfort.
a gun into a woman so he can
Another
wear it.
important part of a good shooting stance is the
So
position
guns.
of your arm.
You ever learned
There
how
are
to
three
fire a gun from a
recognized
gun?
arm positions for shooting. The isosceles stance.
Oh,
where
no,
both
don't-
arms
don't
are
point
fully
at the
extended
camera.
And the
That's
pistol is
unsafe.
centered between your
Hey.
arms.
You've been telling us that for like
But
The
45
check out
minutes.
a
Where your shooting
check
arm
out a
is completely
triangle.
straight
All the
and pushes
the sides are the
outward,
same
and your
length.
other
Oh,
arm is
wait.
bent and pulling
No, they're
slightly
not.
inward. This in and out pulling process helps to stabilize the gun.
Now do the right
And the last
angle.
arm position is the modified Weaver stance.
That's the
This is
sassy
basically
stance.
in between the Weaver
The
and
right
the
angle
isosceles
stance.
stance. The shooting arm straight and the support arm bent less. All of these positions are acceptable, and it really comes down to personal
They're
They're
preference.
all
all
The
acceptable.
key here is to find a position you like, to practice with it,
They're
and then
fine.
to stay with it.
I like to fire in dog style.
When
Wait,
it comes
what?
to shooting accurately, there is nothing more important than sight alignment and sight picture. Most modern handguns have a variation of the partridge type sights.
The
These
partridge family.
consist of
Yeah,
a vertical
waking
post
up.
or blade as the front sight, and a
waking
horizontal
up in the
blade with a
morning.
notch in the center as the rear sight.
No, we're waking
To
up for
correctly
Rice
line these
Krispies,
sights,
and then we're going
you
to go
place
down to the
the
local
top of
mall.
the front sight level
And shoot up the
with the
place.
flat top of the rear sight.
Maybe.
The front sight should be centered between the sides of
crack
the
on.
Depends how many
rear
people
sight's
that we
notch.
don't like it though.
Now, two factors
Oh,
come
boy.
into play with
Or
correct
how
sight
bad of a
picture.
day we're having.
First, your eyes
Oh,
should be
dear.
focused on the front sight,
Or
not
whether
the,
we
not the
played
target
Doom
and not the
This
rear sight.
episode
Yeah.
is cancelled.
And
Your
the
eyes should be
Marilyn
focused
Manson.
on the front
and
sight.
went bowling.
By focusing on the front sight, you are better able to control the muzzle, which, after all, is where the bullet leaves anyways. And that is what is very
It
critical.
was Doom, man, I
Focusing on the front sight
swear.
is the key to accurate shooting. Now, you must learn to hold the front sight onto your target with either a 6 o'clock
6
hold
o'clock hold.
or a center
That was
hold.
my favorite shot.
A 6 o'clock hold is where the front sight is just under and touching your point of aim. A center hold is where the front sight is actually on top of your point of aim. Now, depending on your eyesight, the distance shooting, the size of your target, and your
If you're
personal
blind,
preference,
then you
can
should use
practice
this
the
gun
style you
instead.
like
Oh
best.
god.
Guns come from the factory, usually with a 6 o'clock hold for this reason. If you are shooting at a long distance, the size of the front sight in relation to your target makes it hard to see the
We'll
center
go
of the
to that
target.
part of the video where they
Now
have
let's
to
review
say
sight
a lot of
alignment
words and
and sight
becoming
picture.
like I'm not actually
The
wanting
sights
to
are
learn about
properly
this.
aligned,
I
and the
don't need
front
to know
sight
this.
centered between the rear sight notch.
Talk about your opinions and
This
stuff.
is the proper
Yeah.
sight picture with your sights on
Yeah,
the
give me
target
something I can
with a 6
criticize.
o'clock hold. Your objective is to center the front blade
Go back to
properly
your
in relation to your
anthropomorphic
target.
gun wife.
Then you just squeeze the trigger so that the sight
Although
picture
I know
remains
exactly
a
what this
constant
picture
while the
is, it
gun
still
fires.
looks like some sort of
Reloading.
A
Dolby
common
surround sound
misconception
logo.
is for shooters to close one of their eyes while aiming. While this may help you
If you're
concentrate,
blind, you should
it
use
actually
a cop.
decreases your depth
Oh, that's too close to the camera.
and
Don't
your
do it.
ability to focus.
Hold
By
on, is he
keeping both
cockeyed?
eyes open, you will be able
Or is
to
he
shoot
doing that
better
to be able
and
to
have a
aim?
better chance of hitting your target.
He's
First,
decocked eye.
You must determine which
Was it
is your
uncocked?
master or dominant
Decocked.
eye.
No, it was a decocker, yeah.
This is easy to do. Take your
Decocked eye.
unloaded gun and put it
It's
in front of
easy
you
to
as
do
if you were
because
shooting.
it's fun to make.
Keep
I thought
both
you
eyes
said
open
unleaded
and
gun.
concentrate on the front sight. Now close your left eye and open it, and then close your right eye and open it. You will notice that the target
When he
you're
did his right eye,
aiming
he had
at
to move his
seems
mouth
to
as
move
well.
or jump with one eye and not the other. The eye that the
Do you
target
think it would
remains
be
consistent
possible
is the
to
master
grab the
eye,
bit where
and
they're
this is
like
the eye that you
defending
should
against
use
an
when
assailant,
shooting.
and then just
Even
try
while
to
keeping
find
both
all
eyes
these other
open, you
instructionals
should
and put it straight
concentrate
afterwards?
on the master eye.
Open one eye, close
We
it.
looked at
Open
grip,
the other eye,
stance,
close it.
and sight picture.
Stand
Now it's time to
straight.
pull them all together with the proper trigger squeeze. Your trigger finger is your index finger on your shooting hand. Place your index finger
But neither of
into
my
the
hands
trigger
can
guard
shoot.
area onto the trigger. Use the first pad
The master
on this
eye.
finger because it is the most sensitive pad of your finger and it gives you the most control. The object of a proper trigger squeeze is to place steady, even pressure on the trigger and
He's aiming it too
pull
close to the
straight
camera.
back,
He's forgotten
while
everything that he's taught us
the
at the
trigger-
start.
Click.
performs its action.
It's empty.
Pulling
Aww.
straight back
Couldn't even load it with chocolate bullets.
smoothly and evenly. Try not to yank on the
Master
trigger because you could yank one way or another and pull the gun off sight picture.
See, he's totally
Now,
facing it
let's
at
review the 4 basic shooting techniques
the
and
camera.
put them all together.
tripod.
First, safety.
Take that tripod.
Make sure you're shooting in a safe direction and that you have eye and ear protection. And always
They are
keep
different.
the
She
gun
doesn't have the white
pointed
part.
in the safe
Yeah.
direction with your finger
They
off
each
the
have their
trigger.
own Brett the Hitman heart.
Next.
glasses.
Load your revolver by opening the cylinder and placing 6 rounds into the chambers.
Always 6? You can't.
Now hold the gun
Only
with a
do
proper
five.
grip
Playing Russian
and
roulette, of
assume a
course.
comfortable stance with a slight weight
What's the
forward
training
posture.
part for that?
Aim the front sight at the target.
I just had a brain
And make
fart
sure
where I
you can
watched her
see the
reload
front
and wanted
sight
to say
between the
something
rear
smart
notch.
ass about her doing it with long
Once you're
nails
assured
and
your
realized
target,
that I did the same
place your
thing.
trigger finger on
You
the
don't
trigger
reload guns.
and
No,
squeeze.
but everything else I do,
Nice
people
and
are like,
easy.
oh, how do you do that with nails? So I thought, oh well.
Did she miss?
Once
Yeah.
the gun fires, remember to follow through by maintaining your position.
They're protective
now,
80s
just
biases.
repeat.
It's protection and style.
Yeah.
And also, I think they're from the future. Not from the past.
What's this camera work?
With a
They're
semi-automatic
trying to
pistol.
obscure the fact that
First,
she's missing.
load the magazine.
She enjoys shooting, not hitting anything.
You know, have
Next,
to be
with
good
a
at
gun
it.
pointed in a
the
safe
safest way
direction,
to
Yeah.
insert
shoot
the
is to
magazine
not
into
hit
the
target.
frame
That way the
and
target
make
is
sure
okay.
it is seated. Pull back the slide
It's stress release.
and then
by the way.
release it to load a round into the chamber. Now, hold the gun with the proper grip, making sure that your left thumb is out of the way of the slide,
Hey, she's loosened
Assume
her
the proper
watch. You can
stance
see her.
and
her
line up
sun
your sights,
watch band.
making sure to focus on the front sight
It's not in the
and to
right
place the
place.
front sight in the notch of the rear sight.
This is the shooting
Finally,
position.
Place your trigger
Release
finger
your watch
on the
when you're
trigger
shooting.
and squeeze slowly until the gun fires. Follow through
You want to
and
feel the
repeat.
blood coursing into your genitals
Right.
when you put it.
Good.
Just a lot of kickback on that.
Some people will find it difficult
That's
to
some
pull the
pretty
trigger on some
low-quality
double-action
stuff.
revolvers and to work the slide on some semi-automatic pistols. If you're experiencing this kind of trouble, then this gun is not for you, especially in a self-defense situation. But
Oh,
don't
which
worry,
gun is
there are
for
many
me?
different types of handguns available, and certainly one you will find that is
Assault
ideal
rifle.
for you
Barely gun.
and your circumstances.
What's the people's part? The AK-47?
Yeah,
That's
15.
Many of you have or are going to
big
purchase a
terrorist
handgun
one.
for self-defense
People's
and
one is
home protection.
AR-15.
We have
Something
several
like that.
basic suggestions concerning self-defense
That's the one
and
used in all the mass
handguns.
shootings,
First,
I think.
make sure
Yeah.
you are purchasing a handgun that's suitable for self-defense.
He's wearing a
A
suit
quality
now.
handgun made
Suit
by a
up,
major
and
manufacturer
nighttime.
that
He's
is at
wearing
least
totally
38
his
caliber
house.
or
Hold
larger.
on. Are we going to do
And
a
while we're on the subject,
reconstruction?
let's discuss
That would be
caliber.
cool.
I'm going to break into this house and see what they do.
Yes!
The term caliber
You could have
generally
shot me when
refers
I
to
came
the
through the
diameter
window.
of the bullet
You could
or
have
the
shot
diameter
me
of
when
the
I
barrel,
walked into
which is
the
also known as
bathroom
the
to
bore
steal
of the
all your
gun.
drugs.
Caliber is measured in thousandths of an inch.
Why
or
didn't you
in
take the
centimeters.
shot?
For example, a
Maybe he
45
just
caliber
wanted a
pistol
drink of
has a
water.
barrel
I could have
diameter
killed
of
you
0.45
and your whole
inches.
family in that
A
time.
9mm pistol
And now I will,
has a
just
barrel
to show
diameter
everybody
of
how
9
easy
millimeters.
it is.
Likewise, a 22 caliber firearm
I'm
has a
using
barrel
a
diameter
22.
of 0.22 inches, while a 40
Look
at
caliber
the damage
handgun
it
does
has a barrel
to a
diameter
human
of
skull.
0.40
Now
inches.
this
an
might not be
instructional
enough
snuff
for you,
film.
so you might want to
It's
get
safe to say that the
a
larger
larger
the caliber,
weapon
the more effective
in order
the
to do
handgun
just
will
that
be
little bit
for
more
damage.
self-defense shooting.
The
And now
larger
that
the
we're talking
caliber, the
about
more
caliber,
effective.
let's take a look
Just
at the
remember, if
different
you use
types of
this on a small
ammunition that
child
are
like
available
so,
and how
it's
they relate
quite a
to
mess.
you for self-defense and target shooting.
Remember to wipe your fingers off the cartridge when
There
you're
are
done.
3 common types of bullets: exposed lead,
Oh, explained.
jacketed or full metal jacket,
What's your
and
major
partially
malfunction?
jacketed bullets. These come
Partially
in a
jacketed,
variety
yeah, my
of
favorite.
different configurations. Round-nosed lead bullets are used for target shooting.
Oh, it's got around that.
Wide-coated bullets are also used for target
Wait,
shooting
what?
because they cut a
Beaver
very
hat.
round
Is that
hole
the
in paper
bullet?
targets.
Yeah, it's a Devo hat.
Full metal jacket bullets are labeled FMJ and are used in military and some law enforcement applications, as well as for plinking with everyday shooters. And for
Thank you.
self-defense,
Yeah,
we
they just lie
recommend
around.
Like together?
jacketed hollow point ammunition, usually labeled on the box JHP.
And this ammunition
Jacketed
has an
hollow point
explosive
bullets have
force
shown
and
in
a corrosive
tests
acid
to
that
have
comes out,
excellent expansion properties.
which will
This
definitely
is very
help stop the
desirable in
assailant from
self-defense
stealing your
situations
watch.
for 2 important reasons. Jacketed
This
hollow point bullets
ammunition
will
is-
expand to almost 2
has
times their
electricity
original
powers.
diameter. This slows the
Extra
bullet
elemental
down
damage.
and helps inhibit over-penetration. Additionally, all of the
Inhibited
bullet's energy
penetration.
is expended in the target you are
That can be
shooting
fun
at.
sometimes.
This
So basically, what
greatly
it's saying
enhances
is
stopping
it will be
power.
less likely to be lethal.
Here's a demonstration that
When
will
you just
illustrate
wanna
these differences
make people
in shooting
really
full metal
regret
jacket
their
ammunition
decisions.
Yeah, make
and
people
hollow point
change
ammunition
their life
in a
forever.
self-defense situation. All right, first we're going to try the 9mm military
As self-defense,
ball round.
you should,
We're loaded up in
choose
this
to
Taurus
cripple your
PT-99
enemies.
pistol, and we're going to shoot this 6-pound ham that's downrange here. We're
No,
going to
the
see what
6-pound ham.
Oh,
Look
come
at
on,
it.
we could have eaten
does to
that.
Oh,
ham.
ham. Now watch the ham take the bullet. I bet you it'll...
Oh,
It's overacting.
he's
Come on,
hamming
ham.
it up.
Oh, gnarly, dude.
Oh, it's got a bit of viscera on
Yeah,
the
The
Right.
outside.
results are
Indeed.
somewhat predictable. The
Did you
9mm
cook
ball
the
round
ham
went
with the gun?
right through the ham.
Taste
and
it.
not a whole lot of deformation to the ham
Taste it.
itself. In fact,
Taste it.
looking at the exit wound in the
No, the
back,
crew's gonna eat this after.
you can see
This is the
it's a wound
thing.
that's not much of a
All right, and have your lead ham.
and in fact, I just
Ceremonial
blew out
gun
the
ham.
last back half of that.
You
The
can
round went
really
straight through
taste
and
the
really didn't knock the
firepower.
ham off of the chair that we have it on.
Gunpowder.
I like that the ham has its own little ham stand.
Yeah, otherwise it'd fall over.
And a ham
All right, next
stool.
round we're going to try is this 115
So many
grain
ham
silver tip. It's
accessories.
a Winchester round. It's a very
That's-
commonly
that's in the
used
next video.
9mm self-defense round. Let's see how it does out of this.
Now that I've taught you how to
Taurus
use
PT-99.
guns,
Once
time to
again,
tell you all about
shooting that
ham
ham down there about
accessories.
10 feet down range.
No, I prefer.
Oh, it's dirty. Now we can't.
Now we
eat
can't
it.
enjoy it at all.
You. Oh,
Damn, bro.
now this
Okay,
is
you
the part of the
see
video I wanted.
That the silver tip
Where
round
they shoot up
actually had
hams.
a lot more impact here on this ham. In fact,
Yeah,
it flew
shredded it.
apart about a
Now
quarter
put the ham
of the
in
ham
a pair
itself.
of denim jeans and
That
see
silver
how
tip
much damage it
round
does.
expanded more, transferred more of its energy to the ham, and just blew a chunk of it right off.
Now put it in a school and see how much damage it does.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
The ham?
Yeah.
What I'd like you to understand from that
Kids
last
getting sick 'cause they
demonstration
ate
is that
dirty
you should
gun ham.
always use jacketed hollow point ammunition for self-defense. You saw in the
Staring
last
a hole
demonstration
into
that
my
the full
soul.
metal jacket ammo went right through the object and created
Oh.
a very small wound channel. Now, a living body
That's the strange
will have a
part.
tendency to close up around that and it'll have less stopping power. Additionally, the over-penetration of the full metal jacket ammo provides a potential hazard because the bullet will have the ability to go right through a wall and into a potential bystander or innocent bystander behind that wall. So the
he's suggesting
jacketed
we
hollow
use
point
the ammunition that
will
explodes
expand
your
much greater
assailant?
and create a
Yeah.
larger wound
Yes.
channel.
Holy
and having
crap.
much stopping power and the
No,
ability
He's
to
calling
put someone
it
in the
stopping
tracks and keep
power.
them away
He's
from
actually
you.
not.
At the
He's
same
saying
time,
we
it will
should
have
not
less
use that.
ability to overpenetrate
It's
and to go
saying
through
use
a
the
wall
one
and
that
into enemy's fire.
doesn't fly
For
through
these
and hit
reasons,
people.
we recommend
Yeah.
that you use jacketed hollow point ammunition in a self-defense situation.
But that's the one that
Now
blew
here's a
this
look at
hand
some
to
excellent choices
smithereens.
for
No, that was the
self-defense
one that
ammunition.
kind of just went in. That was the first one. The second one was the full metal.
Proudly made in the USA.
Proudly, of course. There's one thing
It's
we're
a federal
proud of in this country. Our firearms.
It'll make you a 480. Custom. Hydra shocks.
That's
That's
a
the corrosive bullets, right?
yeah.
Make sure you're familiar with the firearm you purchase and that you know how and
Take it
are
out.
Poison your
physically
bullets
able
for
to
committing a war
operate it.
crime.
A new Colt 45 semi-automatic is a great gun
You're
for
not allowed to do that.
self-defense if you're familiar with
You're
it
not allowed to
and
walk
you are
around?
able to operate it.
No, you're
But
not
this
allowed.
gun requires some strength to
Whoa.
pull back the slide.
Shoulder pad.
I suggest if you are purchasing a
No, she's
handgun
Bring 'em
very
back.
for home
barrel-chested.
protection
No,
and you
she's
don't
not.
shoot a
She's
lot, you should buy a 6-shot, 4-inch
She was wearing
double-action
reverse
revolver.
shoulder pads before.
Third,
And they look-
you must
shoulders look
practice
small.
with your firearm.
Must
Granted,
is
you may
underlined
purchase your
in it.
handgun,
Yeah,
load it,
'cause you
and put
have
it in your
to do
safe
it.
box and never have to use it for self-defense. And that would be great. But if you need to use it, you'll be a lot better off if you're
Those
proficient
guns.
with your firearm.
Those ones.
The bullets drop 'em.
Purchasing a firearm is a responsibility that you must take
Whoa, whoa.
very
She
seriously.
missed a whole word
The
there.
gun must be readily accessible
Yeah, and they
to
underlined
you,
it, and she
yet
still
it
missed
must
it.
be safe and secure from children and unauthorized individuals.
Tammy doesn't
Too
want to do
many
this.
children are
She just
injured
wants
in
to do it.
firearms accidents each year. It's not enough to tell your children not to touch your gun. Children are very
Yeah,
curious.
I know that you can't
And
tell
please,
children not to touch
don't
things.
store your
Yeah,
gun
you touch
under the bed
fucking
or in the
everything.
closet, thinking your children won't find it.
Luckily, you don't
What if
have
they
a
do?
gun.
Yeah, I
You
would
must
never.
have some sort of locking storage device
You would have
if you
shot
have
her.
children or if
Shot
children visit your
myself
home.
years ago.
If you're not willing to do this, then please don't buy a gun. It's not worth the risk.
Fifth,
Oh, well,
know the
that's
laws of your community. Every state
you
has
allowed
different
to kill
laws
people?
regarding the use of firearms.
Do you
in
have
home
a stand
protection
your ground
and
law in
self-defense.
Texas?
It's safe to say that if you feel your life is being threatened, you may use your firearm in self-defense.
Threaten my life.
But if a burglar's running out of your house with your TV set in his hand and you
A
shoot him in
burglar?
the back, you're going to be in trouble. It's better to let
Aw.
him go and call the police. A good reference to
You
This
this
is the bit at
situation
the end where
is
they
the
have to
video
cover their
Deadly
asses
Force,
legally, isn't it?
Firearms, the Law, and You.
Hey, look, there's another video. And
Here
it
are a
comes
few
with a free
interesting
gun.
statistics
Cool.
taken from an FBI report on firearms
this was out of
and
shrink.
self-defense.
It didn't have the gun.
80% of
Don't
all
have the gun.
civilian self-defense gunfights occur in the home.
It's
and
been more than 30 days,
70%
otherwise I can
occur
do
in the
return.
dark. 85% of the time, only one shot is fired,
70%
and
occur
the
in the
bad
dark.
guy gets away
That
on his
sounds like
own.
something I'd want.
Then the bad guy
45% of the
leaves.
time, the
Oh,
one
you
shot
shot a
actually
gun?
hits the
I'm
intruder,
leaving.
and the
Bad
rest are
guy.
misses. Only 15%
Intruder
of these
is better.
shootings result
Only
in the death of the
15%.
intruder.
Yeah, but that's
In the
a
majority
bad
of cases,
thing in
when
this
the intruder is
situation.
shot, what usually
No, he
happens
said-
is that he'll check into
like,
a local hospital.
There's no way to
That's how
spin
most of the
that.
suspects are
He's
picked up
saying
by
that,
police
like,
for two
in
reasons.
In a self-defense
The homeowner called
situation,
the police
there's a
and reported the
very,
intruder and the
very
gunfire,
low chance that you're going to
and
actually
two
kill this
hospitals,
person.
clinics, emergency
You
rooms,
gotta
and
try
doctors
harder.
are required
Yeah,
by law to
shoot
report
properly.
gunfire injuries to police. So this double-check system usually
We're
catches
happy
a
to
suspect, and
announce
that's
that
why
since
you
the
as a
release of our
homeowner
last
should
video,
report
that's
a
risen
shooting
from
incident of this
15%
nature.
to 25%.
Yay.
Now, here are some suggestions on how to handle a self-defense
Hold on.
emergency situation.
Why is he standing
once
in
you're
front of
alerted
this
to an
house
intruder
instead of the
in your
ravine
home.
now?
'Cause he doesn't
Oh,
have
here
a
we
gun.
go. Now this is back. We are
Here
getting
we
a
go.
recreation.
Dun, 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 dun.
Boy, I sure like living in my safe house where no one ever breaks
I'd
in.
like him to be.
But even if they did, good thing I've got a gun for protection. Ooh.
Just let me open the safe. I like this recreation to be like all taken seriously, and he's like walking in with the ski mask and stuff, but he's still talking and acting the exact same way. Hi, I'm here to rob and
If you are
Now,
able,
if she's
call
using full
911.
jacket ammo, I'm about to have a really bad time.
Should call law enforcement.
I'm gonna be in real trouble.
And leave the phone off the hook. They are trained
Off
to
the
listen
hook.
for sounds of distress. Next, secure your firearm and other family members. Listen for sounds of force.
Secure your firearm and other family
Yeah,
members.
put them in a
like
safe.
your firearm is a family member.
Yeah.
Make sure you protect your
It is
gun.
not a good
Well, the
idea to
firearm
be
came
searching through your
first
house
in the sentence.
unless
It's
other
like,
members of your family are in
first,
danger.
make sure your firearm is safe.
Then you found.
Then you can go and see what's up.
Remember, if the house is burning down, grab your
Your best
firearm
tactic
first.
would be to inform the intruder that you have a gun and that you have called police. Yell out loud.
Yeah, good idea,
and
because
with
there's
force.
3 of them.
I have a gun! I've called the police! Get out of my house!
Yep, great. Open the door now, because you definitely want them to... Now they know where you are. They could be armed. There could be 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, I have a gun too. Which one do you have?
No, mine's a revolver.
If you
Oh,
must
single
go
action!
around the house, go slowly.
I got a
Keep the
Colt
firearm
45.
close to your
Oh,
body
brilliant.
and use a
I got it
two-handed
from the
grip.
McGills.
Keep the gun
Oh,
pointed
McGill's!
and
That's where I
away
got
from your
mine
body.
from!
With both hands on the gun,
Let's
you are
have
less
a
likely
let's
to
have a
shoot
bit of this
yourself,
gun ham.
and you'll have more control of the firearm.
Oh.
We'll shoot it and then have a sandwich.
If you do confront an intruder, keep
Whoa.
your distance. Try and place something
Tried to
between
shoot them
you
from
and
the other
intruder,
side of the
such as a
room.
couch, countertop, chair, or
That's not the
table.
right stance.
Order
is
them
it?
to leave and
Our
repeat.
arms are all.
I have a gun! I've
What?
called the police! Get out of my house! Get out!
I have a knife.
Knife beats gun!
I brought it
Oh.
to a gun
Oh.
farm.
If
Shoot
the
him.
intruder
Shoot
advances
him.
towards you and you feel your life is in danger, you may have to shoot to
Oh.
protect your life.
Aw. They couldn't afford the special effects? I
No.
wanted there to be like a Robocop
Walking
squid.
through your
Just
home with
cut
a
to
loaded
the head.
gun is one of the most dangerous things you could ever do. We recommend, of course, staying inside the room, dialing 911, and securing your firearm. But if you must walk through the house, here's a couple tips that may help you out. One,
Oh,
make
if you
sure that
must,
it is, in fact, an intruder, not a family member or a friend of a family member or one of your children or
Not
a
Oscar
relative
Pistorius'
or
girlfriend.
someone that you really wouldn't want to shoot, a neighbor coming over to knock on your door. Be absolutely positive that it is an intruder. Which brings us to the next point. When you do walk through the home, keep your finger out of the trigger guard area and away from the trigger. You know, it's dark, and if you're walking through the home and you actually stub your toe on a wall, or if you trip on a toy and your
Why
finger's
does
on
it
the
have
trigger,
to be
there's a
dark?
good chance
We
you
all
could jerk
live in
it
a
off
life with
accidentally,
lights, right?
and a tragedy could happen.
Yeah, but you don't want to
Next,
turn
keep
the
the gun
lights on.
close
And
into your
accidentally
body.
scare away the assailant.
There's no need to walk
Yeah.
around the
And then
house
not
with
get
your gun
them
out
to
like
shoot
this.
them.
Shoot
The
him,
idea
yeah.
is, if the
Oh,
gun's
I
close to your
see.
body, you have more control of it.
Also,
If the
you
gun's
would have
out
been
here,
in the dark,
there's a
and
good
so
chance an intruder
turning
will
on the
knock
lights
away,
would
they
blind
can
you.
steal it from you. By keeping it
But
close
if
to
you
your
think
body,
you
you
hear
have a lot
something, you
more
gotta take
control,
all
you
that
have more
time to
strength
set
on
up
the gun.
fixing the
Plus,
gun.
you can
And
shoot
in
in
the
the
dark.
position very accurately.
You know, tell the Google thing to turn all the lights on.
You can actually, in a gunfight situation,
Not
because
all of
most
this
They didn't have
gunfights are
like
between
Never
seven
have
and
a
10
ball.
feet. Shoot from
Hey,
this
Google,
position very
Play
accurately.
Rick Astley!
Yeah, yeah.
You have to bring the gun up very
If they
rapidly in
had
this position.
access
The
to
next time
Google
you're out of
Home
range,
back here,
practice
it
shooting
would have
from your
been
book with two
Google,
hands
please,
and one hand.
please
You'll be
unlock
surprised
my
how
gun
accurate you
safe.
can be in
And
a
call the
self-defense
police.
situation, 7 to 10 feet.
You'd have a routine set up where you just say, Google,
Yeah, Google
And
intruders.
finally, when approaching a corner,
Then the
try
house
not
goes-
to fall into the Hollywood trap of getting up real close and peeking around.
There's the
What
intruder,
happens
shoot
is
it!
It could be knocked away, it could be taken away, or you could get
What
a
is
punch in
that?
the face. Here's how to approach a
Toy?
corner.
One
Use
of the
distance.
McGill's kids' toys.
Get to the far
yeah,
opposite
but
wall, and
I wanna know what
as
the
you
toy
come up,
is. Looks like a
sneak around
Stuffed dog
and look.
that's half
The idea,
truck.
once again, is
What
to
if
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
the
need
thing.
other
It's a
potential
soft toy
intruder.
and the truck is
Here,
what I'm
it'll
saying.
give you time to respond in case someone's over there. And
Shoot
once
it.
again,
What is
distance
it,
your
Lenny?
friend in this type of encounter.
Lenny, find
It
out
gives
what
you
that
time
is
to
behind
respond
you.
to the bad guys,
It may be
and not to respond to
dangerous.
someone you really don't want
You
to
might
shoot.
have to shoot it.
Whoa! Time
Yes.
to upload that handgun. Da-da-da.
I thought we already had this.
The
thought
most
so, too.
important thing you can do
thought
whenever
we
you're
did.
handed a firearm or you pick a firearm up off the table is to check to see that
Off
it
the
is
table?
unloaded.
Why would the firearm
Before
be
me,
on
I've
the
got about
table,
19
Lee?
different handguns that we're going to do just that.
Oh,
We'll go over each one of
you
them.
don't
We'll
know
talk
all
about
about
the
them.
Jesus
make and
Christ, is he gonna
manufacture of each
unload
gun, and
literally
then,
every
of
single
course,
one of
Every
those?
single one of those
Before we
is
get started,
loaded and
I can't
pointed
emphasize enough the
at
importance of
the
having a safe
He's
storage
got
box in which to
50
keep your guns
seconds
at
to
home,
unload them all.
keep them away from children and unauthorized access.
Otherwise they'll go
It's
off.
made by Polymer Metal Products. It holds two different
Oh,
hands.
jeez!
Access to the
US
box
first enough.
The camera guy's like, hurry up, man!
In this box, I've got two different firearms.
We're having gun ham for dinner. I don't wanna be late.
double action pistol, and the way
He
you
had
want to go
even
ahead
more
and work
guns
with this,
than
of
the guns
course,
that we
and
saw.
with any gun, is to keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction, keep your finger out and away from the trigger area while you first pick it up. The next step is to drop the magazine. To do that, I'll show you here. There's a magazine release button located on the left side of the frame. You can push the button down, and the magazine becomes disengaged and actually will fall out. And as it falls out, you'll see that there are rounds in this magazine. So, now again, I don't know if it's loaded or not. I've got to go ahead and, once again, maintain a safe
gotta get
direction,
rid of the bullet
finger
in
out
the
of the
chamber.
trigger.
So
I've gotta
there is
pull
a
the slide
game, and the
back,
game
I'm gonna
is-
pull it
some
back,
of
I'm
them
going to
are
look inside
loaded.
there, and I'm going to see there are
Yeah.
no rounds. Now, for television purposes, I'm going to go ahead and pull back and let you see. This is what you need to see. You need to see an empty
Television
chamber, empty
purposes.
barrel.
That's
And I'll
what
let
I
the slide
needed to
back
see.
down. I'll point the gun in a safe direction. I'm going to pull the hammer. And now
Yep,
I know I have a
definitely
safe,
unloaded.
unloaded pistol that I can store
Oh, I'll just have a
or
look in
use for later
the
purposes.
barrel.
Next gun I have here in the box is a Ruger
So you have bonus
Security
ones.
6 revolver. This is a 357 6-shot revolver. Double action revolver, as you can see, because of the placement of the trigger.
Don't place.
Once again,
don't
keeping
point
the
at
gun pointed in a
triggers.
safe direction, finger out and away from the trigger. I'm gonna turn the gun
Just
over and
have
show
the
you that
finger
on the
in
left
there.
side of the frame there is
Americans will watch
a
this
cylinder
episode
release
back and
latch.
just laugh at
I will
us
push
being
this
so,
latch
like,
down,
cautious
depress it
about
straight
them.
down. With
Careful,
my other hand,
careful.
I'm going to reach through and
no.
push the cylinder out.
Well,
And
my
then I
response to
have
them
6
is it
rounds
feels
that are
good not to
inside
get a
there.
shot.
I'm going to make sure you get a shot of that. Now, to get those rounds
I
out, you
have
can
to
do
have
one or
I
two
feel
things. You
like-
just turn
I feel like they're not.
upside down.
They're
a
not
lot of
getting
times
to
they'll
the
just fall
point.
out,
We've
depending on how
offended
clean
them
the gun is.
way too much
And if
already.
they wouldn't have fallen
Yeah,
out,
exactly.
what I would do
They're not
is I would
watching
use
this
my
deep.
other
That's a
hand and I
good
would
point.
depress the extractor rod, and the rounds would come out with the star extractor, as you can see right there in that shot.
Oh,
So now this gun is basically
So you didn't
unloaded.
even
I'm
need to
going
do
to
it.
put it back down on the table.
hey,
Next
you
gun
didn't
we're
fire
going to
that
look
one.
at is a Beretta. This is a Jetfire.
He's gonna
This is a
forget which ones it
25
is.
caliber.
There you go.
Is that Prince
This is
Beretta?
automatic pistol. It's
Yeah.
a single action automatic.
It's
Once
cute.
again, keeping the muzzle pointed in a safe direction, keep my
Beretta
finger away from the
Jetfire,
trigger.
that's
I'm going
what
to turn it
cute.
around. I'm going to show you on the left
Feel
side of the
like
frame.
that,
There is a magazine release button, and it's located down here at the
92F.
bottom of the frame,
I
on
don't
the
know
back
what that
of the
means.
frame.
Yeah.
I will push the button down, and out comes the magazine. Pull the magazine
And
out.
you got to
it
learn
is
a new
unloaded.
skill for every one of these guns.
Now, with this style of pistol, it has a
Yeah.
very unique feature.
You gotta
It's
learn your
got a
gun.
pop-top barrel, and basically there's a
Pop-top
lever
barrel?
here, a gun on the
Pop-tops.
left side of the frame
Pop-top
that I can
barrel?
push
Does that mean
out,
it comes
and
up
you'll see
like
the
a
barrel
cassette
pop
player?
up.
I like the apple juice one.
You see that?
Oh,
So you push this
cool.
down, the barrel
Does pop
pops
up.
right up. Now you can
Oh, I
visually
think I had
inspect
a
the
lighter
barrel.
like
You'll
that.
see there are no rounds inside that chamber. This being the barrel, this is the chamber, the first part of the barrel right
I
up
have
here.
a lighter that's a
And this gun is
an
now empty and
old-timey revolver.
ready to drop.
This is the dumbest
And I will
looking
go ahead
bong
and
I've
put
ever
it down.
seen.
Next gun is a Taurus PT-22. This is a double action only pistol, and you can see that this gun is very unique because it is once
got a
again
real
double action
chunky
only, and it
handle.
has a bobbed hammer. This is a kind of a
I
carry
like the
gun,
press
a,
not
a
finish.
gun you could put in
Yeah.
your purse or in your pocket. And first thing I'm going to do once again,
Or you could put it
keeping
in
the
your
muzzle pointed in a safe
underwear or
direction.
your
I've got to drop the
jogging
magazine out.
shorts.
Keep my finger away and
leggings,
out of the
your
trigger
ham.
guard area there. There's on the left side of the frame there is a button,
But you don't want
where
to
you
put it in
can
your
depress.
hand because when you have to
and
shoot
this
your
one I
hand,
have to actually
you
pull the
wanna keep your
magazine
gun.
out,
And
and
your
you'll
gun
see
is-
that
No,
there
you're
are no
putting it in
rounds in the
after
magazine.
you've shot the
Gotta
head.
put it
This
in your
gun,
ankle.
being similar to the Beretta we just looked at, also has a popped-up barrel, and I will depress the
Popped-up barrel.
button right here, and the barrel will open up,
That's
and
my
I can
favorite
visually
bit
look
so
down
far.
into the barrel, into
Yeah.
the chamber, and see there are no rounds in there. And once again, I know that this gun is unloaded. Now that it is unloaded, let me come back here and look at this Beretta. You can see
Now
these
that
guns are
this
very
one's
similar to one
unloaded.
another. They were basically designed off the same
Should've wore a
design.
lighter
Taurus
shirt
is
for
the
this.
PT-22 here in my right hand. My left hand is the Beretta. This one fires the 25 caliber. This fires the 22 caliber. Both of these are considered what you'd consider pocket guns. Now let's look at this
Pocket gun.
Taurus gun.
Both
You can see it
these
has
are
the bob
considered
hammer.
what you
You could
would
basically stick that in
consider-
your pocket, and no one would know. And that's basically what it's all about. This is a concealed
That's
carry
what it's
gun.
all about.
Put it in a purse, put it in a pocket, if
Put
of course
it
you have the proper
ankle.
ornamentation. So that's what this is all about. This is the PT-22.
Pocket.
Next gun we're going to look at
You could
is
still
a
have
Smith
like
& Wesson
your butt.
shot
Know that you're
revolver.
not-
This is a Model 36. It's a very lightweight gun. It is also a carry gun or a concealment
It's
gun.
very shiny.
It has only 5
shiny.
shot. It shoots the 38 special
red.
cartridge. Once again, keep my finger out and away from the trigger guard area. I'm going to maintain
There
the
are
gun
the
like
figures
this.
there.
Looking on the left side of the frame,
So these trigger
you'll see
finger
there
don't
is a
count.
cylinder release latch. On the Smith & Wesson
Just
gun,
make
you
sure
wanna
this
push
finger is
forward,
not touching here.
and with the other hand, reach through and move the cylinder out. Now I can see
This
that there
one's
are no
empty.
rounds in there. And I always like to turn it just to kind of get a visual inspection
Better
look at each and every
handcuffs
one.
than guns.
And now I know that this gun is in fact unloaded.
Good
I can
luck
close it
firing
back up and put it
handcuffs
back on the
at
table.
people.
Yeah.
All guns,
At this time,
for
I
that
want
matter.
to tell you that if I were to pick up any of these guns, again, right now, that I just looked at, I'll look at this gun again. The first thing I would do is release the cylinder release latch, push the cylinder open, and check it. In fact, if I was going to hand the gun to somebody, I would prefer to hand them the gun with the cylinder already
Is that
out.
why it's called a handgun?
That's a very proper way to do that.
Yeah, 'cause they
and
can hand
never
it
will I rely on my memory
the-
or
the
my
best
thought process
share
to
one.
think that the gun is unloaded. Never. I will always open the gun up and always
Never,
inspect that it is in fact
ever
unloaded.
rely on your thought process.
Here's the next gun. This is a another Smith & Wesson revolver. It's a Model 60. This is a 5-shot 38 special revolver.
What happened
It is
to all
also
the
considered
models
a
in
carry
between?
gun. It's got a very short barrel. It has a bob hammer.
They didn't-
You can see that the
they
hammer
didn't
is
kill enough
bobbed. It is
people.
actually gone.
We shot them.
They didn't
Compared
pass
to
the
the Model
hammer
36 we just looked at, this is the hammer here, and this one is bobbed. And that is, again, once again, to
Always
facilitate
the hammer
carrying
test.
the gun.
The hammer.
You can actually put this in your pocket. You can
Oh,
see
good.
that it's a lightweight
He's
gun.
gonna
You
have
can walk
so many
around like
guns
that,
in his pockets.
and really
I
not
reckon
even,
you could
no one
put
can tell you
most of
how
those
to. And when
guns
you
in
need to
your
get it
pocket.
out, it comes
Just a
out, and
matter of
because
whether
the
it's
hammer's
concealed or
bobbed,
not.
it will
Yeah.
come out of your pants and not snag up on
But
your
that's
same
okay,
in a
because
purse or
having
even in a
concealed
holster. If
means
you're pulling
you
out of a
need a
holster,
different
you don't
carry
want it to
license.
snag up on your jacket. So once again, with this gun, keeping my finger in the safe direction, the gun pointing in the safe direction, finger out of the trigger guard area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to depress the cylinder release latch here with my other hand, come through,
it's so sad
open up
now.
the cylinder, and visually inspect that there are no rounds in there. And I'll put that down, move on to our
Yeah,
next
I'll put that in.
pistol.
Gonna take a nice
Let's look
gun
at some
hand to
single
make me
action
feel better
revolvers
after
real
that.
quick. This is
Yeah,
a
it's been
Colt
depressed.
22 Scout. This is what it's called, and this gun has,
This is what it's called.
it is single action only. You can tell by the placement of that trigger there, and I'm going to go ahead and just drop the hammer real quick so we can look at it. And now, the first thing I'll do is I will go ahead and open up the
That wasn't the first thing
loading
you
gate.
did. You just dropped the hammer.
And look there, you can see there are rounds
You're a
inside
liar,
this
Lenny.
gun. So I'll turn it towards the camera here so you can see that there are actually rounds in there. Once again, I'm keeping the gun pointed in a safe direction, keeping my finger out and away from the trigger
No, you're
guard area.
pointing it at a bunch
And now
of other
the first
guns.
thing I'm going to do, because this gun is loaded, I've got to go ahead and cock
Bang.
the hammer
Bang,
to the
bang, bang, bang,
half-cock
bang.
position
It's
to
like
be able
mouse
to
pads.
extract these rounds
Say
and be able to
it
rotate
enough.
the cylinder. So the half-cock position is basically 2 clicks back. You'll hear these on the microphone.
The Colt.
1, 2. There's my second click, and now I can
Is the
rotate
Colt what the
cylinder
YF used to use?
freely. And while I
The one
do
that
that,
the
it'll
boys
advance
carry
to
around in
each one of the rounds, and
Supernatural?
I'm going to use the extractor rod, which is located down here next to the barrel. Take my index finger, and I'm going to pull back on the extractor rod to eject each one of the rounds.
You
Here
shoot your
comes my
finger
first
off.
round,
Well,
and I'll turn
Yeah,
the cylinder to the
I
next
would
round,
probably be pretty uncomfortable.
and again, and I'm going to go around all the way through, and each one of these rounds, I'm going to
finger that
visually
close
inspect
to
that it
the-
is coming
To the
out,
barrel.
and that the chamber is in fact empty. And I'm never really going to assume to count them and to think that I know. I'm just going to keep on going around until I know that I want
Just do it forever.
round and round
Never
enough.
stop.
and then the chambers
always
are
double
free
check.
to
It's a good
load
idea
with
to
jelly
know.
bellies.
that the gun is in fact empty. Now I can just
Then we're
kinda
gonna
turn
fill
it
this
around
with
a
liquor
lot.
and shoot it
And
into
this
each
gun
other's
is now
mouths.
empty, as you can see, as I'll
And
turn
that's
it
where
around
the
and
term
around.
taking a shot
Now,
comes from.
to lower
Right.
the hammer on this gun, you basically have to pull it back all the way. Now, maintaining a firm grip with your thumb on the hammer, release the hammer, and slowly drop the hammer all the way down. Then you close the loading gap back up, and you know that you have an unloaded
You don't want to do
Colt
it too
22
quickly
Scout
now
pistol.
that you know
Now,
all of the bullets
let's move
are
on to
gone.
our next gun, which is a larger single-action revolver, but it is in
I don't
fact a
seem to
single-action
remember-
revolver. This is a
there's not doing it in
Freedom
any
Arms
sort of
454
order.
Casull.
He's
This is a
just
very
grabbing them.
large
Yeah.
hunting firearm.
He's going
as,
from
you
order
would
from
expect
least
because it
favorite
shoots
to
up a very
favorite,
large
so,
caliber.
I'm
You
glad
can
that
tell
the
once
rest of
again
this video
that,
is
to
just
keep
him
this gun
unloading
and to
guns
maintain
for
the
the
fact
next
that it is
half an
unloaded, I'm
hour.
going to
Yeah,
keep the barrel
it's pretty
pointed in a safe
exciting.
direction. I'm going to keep my finger out and away from the trigger area.
I wanted more
And, I got to open up the
recreations
loading
and
gate
ham
first to
shooting.
look inside
I mean, the
there.
video said
Now, I
it
see
goes
that I
for
do
an
have an empty
hour, and
chamber
we've watched
there,
an hour,
but
so
that
this
doesn't
is
mean
all
all the other
bonus
chambers are
unloading.
empty. So what
Bonus
I'm going to do is
unloading.
look inside, and to do that,
It's like an
I'm
unboxing
going to have
video,
to half
but
cock the hammer. Once
for
again, there's
guns.
going to be 2 clicks
You
here.
can
You'll
see
hear
the
them on the
bullets.
microphone.
Maybe one will come out rainbow.
1, 2.
Oh, this is a very
Now this
special
allows
one.
me to rotate the cylinder. There's an empty chamber there, and there is a round. So now I want to eject that round. Once again, on a single action revolver, it will have an ejection rod down here. You can use your index finger on your left hand is a good hand to use. Pull that
Left
back,
hand is a good
and
hand
you'll
to
see
use.
it will knock
Okay.
the round straight
Well,
up
I
out.
suppose you've got the choice of two, maybe
And now I want to
three.
advance the cylinder. Let the rod down and advance the cylinder again. And here, I'll show you this.
Depending
on the
how
camera
related
side.
your grandparents were.
Here it comes. And there is a good shot of the
That
extractor rod.
might also
And
affect
now I know
how
that,
much
in
you love
fact, I
guns.
have
Although you could just ask for help.
An unloaded
you know?
gun.
You,
I'll go
you
around
do
and
this
around
bit,
there, and I'll
somebody
make sure
else
that there
stands
are
from
no
the front
rounds
and
in
pushes
there.
Oh, yeah,
the
true.
thing.
Okay, so I'll close the
That's
loading
a
gear
good idea.
up. I'm going to cock the hammer all the way.
Then they look
Maintain
in
a
the
good
barrel
firm
for
grip
you
on it.
to
I'm going to squeeze the
Yeah,
trigger.
think
I'm
of it,
going to
think
lower
of
the
it.
hammer
That's
very
That's right, that's a
slowly.
good point. It's a good idea.
And I've got an unloaded Freedom Arms.
That's what happened to the
454.
first Tammy.
Next up here is a Smith & Wesson 686 revolver.
Damn
Very
it,
similar
no.
to the
Oh, well.
66.
All right, Tammy
As you
too.
can see, these guns are very
Another
similar.
Tammy.
The difference, of course, is the length, and there's a couple other internal
difference is they
mechanism
put an
differences
8 in
as
the
far as the
middle
way it's
without
manufactured, but they
thinking
look the
about
same.
how numbers
The
actually
Like,
work.
166
they put out a
fires,
66.
a
Well, that was the
357 cartridge.
six-
It's a
86.
4-inch barrel. This particular gun. Once
Yeah.
again, keeping the muzzle and barrel pointed in the safe
More
direction. I'm going
numbers
to turn
is
over on the
better.
left
Take
side.
that,
Very
losers.
similar,
Our gun's
release
bigger
latch. Once
number
again,
than
push the
yours.
cylinder release latch forward, reach through, open the
They should
cylinder,
release guns
and
with
then
like
let the rounds drop right out,
3,000.
or push
Makes
them
it
out like
sound more
so.
futury.
And this gun is unloaded, so I'll turn it up and put it down.
Turn it up
The
and
next
put
pistol
it
here
down.
is a Dan Wesson
Yeah, definitely from the
744 44
Dan
Magnum
Wesson
revolver. And the
744.
reason I want to show you the Dan Wesson firearm is because there is a
love
different
guns.
latch mechanism for opening the cylinder
Is
release.
this his personal
button is a little
collection,
different
or did
than
he
it
buy
is on
these for this
either the
video to
Ruger
claim
or
them on
the Smith
tax?
& Wesson. You
And
can
now
see
they're
here,
his personal.
once again, keeping the gun pointed in a safe direction, keeping my finger off the trigger. I'm going to turn it over on the left side of the frame, and
This
the
is
release,
a
the cylinder release button is
tiny
not here,
percentage
but in
of
fact
his
in front.
collection.
I do have a
And
big
I'm going to
hand,
go ahead and pull this
but I also
down
don't
and
want to
reach
use a
through
gun.
with my left hand and pop the whole mechanism out.
But look at it.
And
It
you
looks
can
like
see
one of
here
those
that there
guns
are
where if
6
you shot
empty
it in a
chambers there.
video game, it
And
goes.
so this gun is unloaded, and now I can close it back up
Yeah.
and put it down.
Yeah, they don't make very impressive
Let's
noises.
move forward
when
now
they're firing.
to some of our automatic pistols. The first pistol I will show you here is a Ruger. This is a
Is that
Mark
a
II
ray gun
Ruger with
coming
a
up
bull
next?
barrel. It's stainless steel, as you can
This
see.
one is set to stun?
This Ruger is somewhat different than some of the other automatic pistols you'll find because of the position of the magazine
Mark
release
II.
button. It is located at the
Can
bottom
we have a
of the
video
frame.
where you just explain
Now, once
what
again, I'm going
happens
to keep
to
the
all
muzzle
Mark
pointed in a
Is
safe
of all
direction.
these?
Can't say that enough.
They got
keep my
lost in
finger
the war.
off of the trigger.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the gun over and I'm going to look
They
down
stopped
here.
making them
There is, in
because Mark
fact,
II is way
a
better.
magazine release button
I
right
want
here.
to
And
hear
you
all the
open this, you
terror
depress it
stories. Like
full,
this one
or
was
just push
doing
back
this
on it.
thing where it would
The
just
magazine will
explode.
come out.
And GoldenEye.
And there it is. Now you can, of course, do that, upside down, too. and out it comes. And there are no rounds in there. Now,
Look, that one there. It looks
to
like
look
a
into the
ray gun.
chamber of this gun, you can see there are two
The idea that they can just be
pieces of steel sticking out here
a
on the slide,
bullet
the
just
internal
stays
slide.
in there.
I'll pull back,
that's just scary because you know how stupid people
and
are.
I'll be able to look
Yeah.
right down into the barrel here.
Like,
And hopefully
people
the
are
camera
so
will get you a
fucking
good shot of that. You
dumb.
can see there are no rounds in there.
Then
You always
they
want to
keep
visually
making and
inspect
buying these guns
the barrel to make sure there are no
I mean, that
rounds
too,
in
but-
the chamber area. Let the slide forward.
and letting
and
their
I will
kids
drop the
have
hammer.
them, even though they're like,
And
oh,
the gun is now
well,
empty.
we didn't
Keep
let
the
our
gun pointed
kids
in a
have
safe
them.
direction.
We just made it
Next
easy
gun
for
we'll
them
look
to
at
get.
is a 1911 style
No, not that one.
9mm pistol built by Star. Now, I say 1911 style because you've probably seen a gun look like this. Colt has manufactured the 1911 45 caliber, which is this gun. For,
Oh no, he's he's
just about
dual
90
wielding.
years now.
No, that's
And he hasn't
dangerous.
checked to see if they're
This is the
unloaded
Star.
yet.
This is a copy, but it shoots a 9mm cartridge.
Shoot
So let's look at
yourself
the
in
Star,
the wrist.
1911
Now
style
he's put
pistol
it down
first.
with
This is
the
actually
unloaded
called a
guns that he didn't
PKM
check.
Star. First thing I
Oh,
want to do, of course,
no.
is keep my finger
What are you
off the
doing,
trigger
Lenny?
and away from the
This
trigger
is
guard area.
exactly
Keep the gun
opposite
pointed in
of
a safe
what you
direction.
just
Turn
said
it over and look
before.
on the left side here. There's a magazine release button. I will depress that button with
I
my
hope
thumb.
someone got injured
The magazine
because of
starts
that
to make its way
exact
out. I
gun
can pull the
instead of
magazine out. Now I want to
Also,
go ahead
while
and
he was
visually
unloading that
inspect
gun,
the
he
chamber.
was
So I've got a
facing
grab
it the
here
wrong way.
with my thumb and index finger, my left hand, and pull back and look inside the chamber. And you can see there are no rounds in there. Now, for
No,
this
I can't.
gun, if I were to hand this to someone, a good way to do that is to actually get the slide back the whole way and put the slide stop up. And the slide stop is right here. And that way,
That
when you
looks
hand
like
the
a
gun
bit
to
of
someone,
an
it looks
effort.
like this. And it's actually caught up on the slide
And they
stop.
go,
And it
"Cool."
maintains the fact that you can look in there, and anybody who picks the gun up off the table, as soon as they pick it up, they're going to be able to look in there. They're going to see that there are
Why
no
do you
rounds
just
in
have
it.
so many guns on tables?
This is a very proper way to hand a gun to someone with the slide
And
already
constantly
pulled
to
back
stop that
and
many
basically
intruders.
locked back
Gun
with the
displays are
slide
expensive.
lock button there on the side. To lower the slide, I have to go ahead and release the button. I
Someone
can
breaks
just
it in
pull
your
down
house
that
while
or
you're going
gently
through
pull back on the
unloading and
slide,
loading all your guns.
push down on the button, and let it go forward.
You're like,
Now, this gun
but
also
I can't
has
remember
a
if I
hammer
loaded
safety,
this one or not,
a
so I'm
magazine
gonna have
safety.
to
The
check.
the hammer will not drop unless the magazine is placed inside the frame. So I can't drop the hammer manually.
Does he have his
It's just
script
going
on
to
the
stay up
gun
for
or
these
what?
purposes here. I'll just leave it off for now.
I'll
And
just
that'll
leave
bring
it.
us to our next gun, which is this
Thank
Colt
you.
45.
Yeah, I'm loaded.
pistol, and this is an
see if
automatic
this one actually
pistol,
was
as you can
loaded.
see, semi-automatic pistol, single action only. The way this works, basically, again, keeping the gun pointed in a safe direction, I'm going to turn the gun over and I'm going to look on the left side
See,
of the
again,
frame, and we do
that's-
in fact have a
Now he's
magazine
turned it to the
release
side.
button here located on the left side. I can push that with my thumb, and out comes the magazine. Put the magazine on the ground, keeping the gun pointed in a safe direction. I can go ahead and visually inspect the chamber area
up
by
the ray gun.
grasping the slide with my thumb and forefinger, open up and look inside,
This one's
and
not
I'll
charged.
see that there are no rounds in there.
All right.
Now, once
It
again,
was
this has a
empty,
slide
but
stop
still,
button,
he
so I
didn't
can
check
pull
like
back
he said
on
he
the
was gonna.
slide
Yeah.
and push up the button with my thumb,
All the other ones where you wanted to compare them,
and you can
like,
see how it catches
check that they were both unloaded
the slide,
and then do it.
and that way I can visually inspect and know that there are no rounds in the chamber here. This gun is basically
A
empty.
lot of damage
And
with
it is
Basically
safe
empty.
to be handled or to be stored or whatever else you want to do with it if you want to go to the
Yeah,
range.
it's basically
To
empty.
drop the slide, I'll have to go ahead
Close enough.
with my left thumb, push down the slide stop.
Like if it
Look,
does
at
have a
worst,
bullet,
one
then
person is
slide
going to
drop,
die.
and now I will
Right,
just go
at
ahead
least,
and squeeze
like,
the trigger,
at
keeping
worst,
gun
you're looking
pointed in
at
a safe
one death.
direction.
I mean,
Two, if you get them like through the
Voila,
neck and
gun
hit
is
someone
now
else behind.
unloaded.
There,
if, if there's a
45
combo,
Ah!
you might
is
get
a
a cop.
wide body, new generation.
That's the last
45
one he's
is still
gonna
on a,
show
a
us.
wide
Oh,
body
come
frame.
on, I want the
Basically
ray gun
It
already!
has a polymer
Yeah, you
frame,
gotta
and
wait
it has
for
it
it.
features a,
No, it's not
a
gonna be
wider
shown. This
frame
kid-
which
this is the last
carries
one
more
gonna show
rounds
it.
in the
He's going to be
magazine.
like, this one is
Release button
credits.
right here. Out comes the magazine. You can see this holds 14 rounds. Same principle. Grasping
Oh,
the slide with my thumb and index finger, pull back, look inside there. I see that there are no rounds in there.
Buy my
I go
next
ahead and drop
video
the hammer,
where I
and I have a safe
exclusively look at
pistol.
ray guns.
Next gun I want to show you is this.
oh, come on!
And
That's
this
what
will
he
be our
said
last gun
last,
of the
and
day.
also-
Oh,
that's the last one. It's the only one you haven't touched.
Yeah.
Basically, this
It's none of
gun
the ones around
is
it
the
now.
principle is the same. I'll keep my finger off the trigger area.
I know which one you guys want to see.
Maybe he was going.
Stick around and I might just
You'll
show you
find
my
the
pistol.
magazine release.
He was going
button.
from at
And I'm
least
going to go ahead
favorite
and
to
just
favorite.
push this button straight
That.
down, and out
That.
comes the magazine. Put the magazine down.
There's so many
Now
bullets.
I'll go ahead and grasp the slide with my thumb and forefinger, just pull it
That'd be
straight
one
back.
in the chamber.
And I can look
Good.
inside there and see that
Oh,
there
damn
are
it.
no rounds in the chamber area. I know
He
I've got an
hasn't shown
unloaded
us what
pistol.
to do
Drop
if
it
there's
down.
a bullet in the
I can drop the
chamber.
hammer
Take it
with the
out.
trigger, or I can
Yeah,
use the
but how?
decocking button,
It
which
just
is
pulls out.
right there.
With your,
And
with
now
your
I've got
tongue.
an unloaded pistol that is safe and ready to be stored.
But don't
I
do
cannot
it if
emphasize
you've
enough
already
that
fired
whenever
3
you
shots,
pick up a
'cause
gun
then
off
you
the
suck
table,
it out
no
the end,
matter
you go,
when you last touched it, if it was minutes or hours or days, always pick the gun up, keep it pointed in a safe direction, open up the
Guns
action,
are
whether it be the
stupid.
cylinder, you want to open it up and visually
Hey, he went
inspect
back
it,
to
or
other guns
whether it's
again.
the
You see with these
slide
handguns,
on an
sucking
auto-
Oh,
the
come
extra
on! He knows what we
Open the
want to
slide and look
see.
inside there. Always keep it pointed in a safe direction.
What is it? Is it a
Always keep
Luger?
your
Is that
finger
what it
off
is?
the trigger until you have ascertained
Is it
that
one of
it
those-
is in
those
fact
German
unloaded.
guns?
That's going to avoid many
Looks like it.
accidents and a lot of tragedies.
Oh, get fucked!
You'll never find out.
Now I'm mad. He was just showing off that he had it.
Yep. So that's the
Owning a
official end
firearm
of that,
for
right?
personal protection
Oh, well,
is
now
a
you're never
tremendous
gonna see my PK
responsibility
Walter.
and privilege. We, as law-abiding citizens of the United States of America, have an
she's
opportunity
reading.
that few people in any other country can enjoy. We know that we have the ability to protect
It was
ourselves,
what, a year
our
or two
loved
after this that
ones,
we
and our
banned
property
guns?
when jeopardized
Because of
unlawfully
this.
by another.
It wasn't Port Arthur.
Has been to
This
provide you
hate
with
space
basic
that shows and someone
techniques
watching was
to
like, oh god!
understand the
Wait.
ownership and use
If
of
we
handguns
keep
for
guns, we'll
target
eventually
shooting
end
and
up like the
self-defense.
McGills.
Please
Yep.
review the tape as often
We
as
gotta do
necessary
something.
for you to become familiar with these techniques. Hopefully, you'll never have to use your firearms for self-defense.
Show us the other gun.
The most important
Show us
aspect
the other
of
gun.
firearms ownership is safety.
Show us some
Firearm
ads.
accidents are a
Show
tragedy
us
that
some
can
ads.
and should be
Ads.
prevented, especially when they involve
Put a
children.
bullet in a bubble butt.
If you have a handgun at
No,
home,
there's another
we
hand.
urge
Every
you to have
hand.
a
The
safe
hand butt.
box
Oh, just hand
similar
butts?
to
Yeah,
this
just
one.
hand butt.
Okay.
Gosh.
If you are
They got-
unfamiliar
I wonder if it's a
with
human
any
butt.
aspect of
Ew.
a firearm or shooting techniques, take the
They
time
should do
to
target
ask someone.
practice in
Go to your local
butcher.
gun shop and ask one of the clerks or the store owner. Most
Blow
of them
off all
have
the
the answers, and most are going to be very helpful.
If they've made
I'm
so many
letting you-
videos, do you think they'd
And
just
I'm
be
Tammy
up
Miguel.
for making more
Thanks
videos
for
if
watching
you'd asked? Like,
and safe shooting.
I'd like to see them do a paint
Alright,
video.
now we're getting to whatever the special feature's gonna be, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of credits. They
Okay, now the credits are over. We can show you our murder tapes.
That was an awesome video. No, that's a chef. Don't go anywhere. That's 1 hour 11 into something that says that it goes for an hour on the tape.
There's
But
still 20 minutes
the
left.
video itself goes to
Oh,
20
they had a lot of
Yes.
cameramen. I guess we could
1 hour 30.
Yeah, at least a few.
Dick Frodo and
We have to look in
Frodo.
in memory of and see how many cameramen are in that.
You know how like on the animated films, this is like production babies. It's like production deaths. Wait, what? It featured extra people.
Yeah.
One of them was
They were
the lady.
the westerns. The westerns.
No, it didn't. They were the
The
right
lady,
one.
the robber, probably.
Oh, eh?
It was the. Oh, okay, the robber. That's who the other one was. I forgot that wasn't just Lenny McGill. In
Here
it.
we go.
It should have
Woo,
been.
look at that!
Oh, ads! Ready for some ads? Woo!
Now, these aren't windows, they're just static images.
That is a window, isn't it?
We're not doing anything.
Oh.
They're just videos and pictures and things.
Other tapes available for gun video.
Oh, that guy's got a mustache. We have to get that one. Where's the one where they show
That
off that
blue one
one
was
gun they
too
didn't show
fast.
off?
it's a fast gun. Whoa. The quality dropped significantly.
No, they're just trying to overlay too
Is this a
many
music video?
things. This is what I did for my
That would be cool.
student video, and I thought it was
To
cool.
be the
Yeah.
best, you gotta shoot everybody that might be better than you.
Their own fault if they don't see it coming.
What? What's the gun? Is that a clown?
Yeah, there's a clown. Oh, look at all those colors.
Yeah,
Sickening.
it's colorblind mode.
Shooting on LSD.
Take that, purple elephant! Woo!
Whoa.
I'm shooting time!
I like what's happening over on the right side, by the way. There's like a strip of something,
Yeah.
but when they had the flying windows, they went over it fine. So it's the actual, yeah, it's fine. It's just
That's
that
just not that good.
they just didn't do the background all the way.
Boom! Boom! Boom!
That was
Shows the bad.
special
Shows the bad. Shows the bad.
Whoa.
Where's the bad?
Whoa.
Aww.
Great.
Bang, 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 bang.
The very best.
The very fast.
Is that the very best?
Yes. Whoa!
What
Where you go?
separates the good shooters from
He's
the
shooting
very
through
best?
white picket fences.
What makes a national
Picket
champion?
fences.
A repeat winner. A shooter who pulls it all together consistently.
Was that a
to be in the
post-apocalyptic
running
car with a
almost
roll
every
cage?
time he or she steps to the line.
Hey.
Hey, look at the office. Come
Open,
in.
come in. Why is he shooting?
And then
Over
shoot
the past
people.
10 years, I've shot, attended, and
Take that,
videotaped
office.
hundreds of stages of fire. More importantly, I've watched literally
Whoa.
thousands of hours of
Where can I
videotape
buy that
of the
bed
best
sheet?
IPSC shooters to ever live. I've talked with and interviewed the
Why have
world's
you watched
greatest
literally
competition
thousands of
shooters,
hours of
and
it?
I've come to the
That's a
realization
lot of
that
hours.
You're a gunner.
IPSC competition
You just-
So
shooting
I've played
is not a sport of
thousands of
seconds,
hours of Melee, and I
but
still suck at it.
fractions
So
of a
Wait.
I mean, just doing it doesn't mean anything, mate.
He's not doing it. He's just watching people do
Is
it.
his
Shooters in
belt
the sport
clip
do
an extra
everything
clip
a
of
little
ammo?
faster, a little bit more
Maybe.
accurate, with a little bit less movement than the rest of the pack.
Well, I guess in his
And
defense,
to
I probably
extrapolate
learned
that
more
over
watching
3,
Melee than I
5,
did
or 12
playing it.
stages of fire, what you get is a rather large
In
difference.
his defense, he has
The
a
purpose
gun.
of this video is to
Yeah,
point
true.
out and
Hey,
illustrate
look,
the
his belt
techniques
clip
that
is
are
an
used
extra
by
clip
the
of
world's
ammo.
greatest
Yeah.
He's
shooters
just kind of holding
as
it
they
like
go
it's
through
his
various
erect
stages of
penis.
fire.
That's right.
Assisting me in this effort is Brian Enos, a top competition shooter in his own right, but more importantly,
Wow.
I like how we have to
student
start
of
from
the
a
sport.
Do you
relaxed
think
position.
how I shot those
Enos
6
has trained
intruders?
side by side
So I don't
with
care
other
about the
top
gun
shooters,
shooting, but I really
including
like
Rob
the
Latham
scenarios that they're
and
setting
Doug
up,
Keeney.
because this
He'll
one is
help
he's on
analyze
holiday and
some of
lying
the
on a
footage
deck
you'll see
chair.
of
Yeah.
the
They had one where they
world's
went
And then the
into
police come to
office.
arrest
And
him.
speaking
Did
of
the office
shooters,
come in?
In this program, we'll look at
There was
and
that
analyze the
post-apocalyptic
techniques and
car.
styles of
They're
Rob
definitely
Latham,
not just doing
USPSA
target practice, they're
national
inventing
champion,
stories
world
along the way.
IPSC champion,
One of their
Ray
prominent
winner,
stories is a
overall
school
one of the
shooting,
greatest
except they are the
shooters
school
to
shooters.
ever live.
Oh, dude.
Jerry
Those
Barnhart,
games get nailed.
You're
USPSA
trash.
national
Ow,
champion,
Robin.
Steel Challenge champion, world
Oh, you get
shootout
to
champion,
buy
and
the
one of
bullets
winningest
that they
shooters
shoot.
over the past 8 years. Doug Keeney,
Para Office?
IPSC world champion.
Is that-
NRA Bianchi
Are
Cup
they
champion,
saying
and
that this
Masters
area
gun
buys
champion.
all of the spent bullets so that
Matt
you get
McLaren,
like slight
USPSA's
refunds?
national
Maybe.
champion and
I
world
imagine maybe
IPSC
it could
champion.
also be they just buy like, you know,
Todd
old
Jarrett,
cars and shit.
USPSA nationals champion.
Todd Jarrett.
And Kippy Boykin, USPSA
Kippy
women's
Boykin.
champion. along with
Gimme!
help make this program.
How many of these shooters do you reckon have been like
We'll look at and
involved
analyze
in
the
violent
documents
crime?
and
They're
find
all
out
dead.
What they do, how they do
Every
it,
single one
and
of them.
why
Death
they
by
do it.
death by
Welcome
gun.
to IPSC Secret.
Death by Lenny McGill.
IPSC
The winning edge.
Other things.
After watching thousands of hours of proficient shooters, I realized I could be the most proficient shooter if I shot all of these people.
But I couldn't be bothered seeing them out one by
John
one,
Bianchi
so I locked
is
them all
the
in a
most
room together.
recognized personality in the firearms industry. Known
Bianchi
internationally
respects
as the
competition.
father of the modern holster and the master of concealment, John Bianchi
He's got
is
underarm
responsible
guns.
for the design
The
and
master of
production of an
concealment.
incredible 20
So
million
he's holding 20
belts
guns. You'll never
and
guess
accessories
where.
during his 40-year career.
He's a gun
In the early
magician.
1950s, John Bianchi started as a police officer.
So,
making
is this
holsters in his
the
garage.
inspiration
His business
for
expanded
what the
rapidly,
McGills do
and
now?
by the mid-1970s, Bianchi
Like, this
International
guy made
had
so
grown
many
to be
different
the
ways to get
industry
hired
leader,
guns.
occupying
Now,
the
it's
60,000
out.
square foot facility in Temecula, California.
Hold on. Is it being produced at the Hitachi place? Oh, what is that?
Well,
That's a true second if I ever did see
Numerous
one.
achievements include authoring the industry bestseller Blue Steel and Gun Leather, creating
Steel.
an
Where
did
international
we get the
shooting
soundtrack?
competition, the Bianchi Cup, as well as over
It's pretty
200
kickin'.
patents, trademarks, and
professionals.
copyrights. His holsters were used in virtually all
Berettas and
Hollywood
bow
productions
ties.
from the mid-1960s. But perhaps his most important contribution is the design, development, and manufacture of the M12 military holster, currently in use by the United States and NATO forces worldwide.
that music.
Wouldn't you just love to own one of these?
Yes, it's like it's
John Bianchi sold
It's
Bianchi
trying to sell
International
us,
in
like,
1989.
Gun holsters, yeah.
And
I mean, this
now
is an app.
personally handcrafts custom Western gun
But yeah, it was very
that are
much late
considered to
night,
be
the
works of art
telemarketing
that are
easy.
truly becoming
No, not Tiger,
collector's
the other
items.
one.
These are available through his new custom shop,
yeah. I
Frontier
couldn't think of the
Gun
word
Leather.
either.
That thing.
Frontier gun leather. Yeehaw!
This program is volume 3 of
Whoa.
a 3-part series featuring the artistry
Three
and
of three.
secrets of advanced Western holster making. John
You
Bianchi
make your
shares
own
with you
Western
more than 40
holsters.
years of experience in working with leather, tools, and
Root
supplies
leather?
to make the highest quality holsters
Oh.
and belts.
It's
in
made
the
from the
world.
leather of animals to be shot.
That's why he has to shoot animals, so that he can make holsters
Well,
for his
The
guns,
information
so that he
about
can
this
shoot
can be
animals.
applied
Exactly.
to all leather making projects
It's a circle
with
of life.
particular emphasis
I have
on
those belts.
holsters and belts. Now,
I put
here's
lollipops
John
in it
Bianchi.
once. Whoop!
But if you did it with Pez, if someone pissed you off, you could be like, that's it. I'm loading my weapon.
Whoa!
A lady.
This is my favorite ad so far.
Yeah, this one's pretty intense.
This is the opening to a failed TV show.
Oh, there's some skin in it too.
Yeah.
Come on. Keep it PG.
Ooh, some saxophone.
This is where we get into the side characters come up.
Dun, 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 dun.
It really does look like if you just put credits over the top of it, it should be a. Oh no! Because you didn't have any bullets in that one. That cameraman's safe now.
Night shooters.
Night shooters.
Sunday, 10 p.m. Cold consider that's much better. Concealed carry. Oh no, it should be concealed carry. It should be about how she carries with a concealed carry license, and her name is Carrie.
Yeah.
The
If I ever go to the
revolver has been
States,
around for more than
I will.
150 years.
I know at least a couple people who do have guns. Maybe I'll make my own gun safety video. And then you just.
Mastering revolver.
If you make your own gun
You'll
safety
break
video,
your-
it'll be like,
Your shoulder, you do that.
Yeah, I know.
hi, I'm from Australia.
I can't do it! I can't do it!
I'm gonna teach you all about gun safety. The safest way to handle a gun is to move to a country that doesn't have guns.
Now, here's my airplane tickets. Now, you see, they say to Australia.
And then you handle your gun and you put it over here and you just forget all about it.
Give it back to the bank that gave it to you.
Mastering revolvers. Oh man, that one had them shooting something that had water in it.
Yeah, what a
Like a
great
weird
for stuff
aquarium
in.
thing.
Ooh!
Oh, it's season 2.
Concealed carry 2. Check your local theater for times.
They're back on the job.
No, there's
Oh, they're fighting!
there's no concealed anything.
Yeah.
This is hand to hand. They lost their concealed license and now they got to fight to get it back.
We need this tape. What
Marshall
this?
Artie.
I don't know. Does it have Cynthia Rothrock in it?
Imagine it would be better if it did, because then it would be too professional. Like, I want it to be complete amateur bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh.
People who are like, okay, so first you gotta do this. What, no, this.
Hey.
No, and more like,
We did get at least one recreation in this, so.
we did. And we got ham shooting.
The ham shooting was my favorite part, I think. What is this?
This is moving windows, the movie.
Alright, that ham shot exploding has to go in a new intro for the 100th.
No trespassing.
Oh my god, he's gonna shoot that man in the face.
Oh!
Wow!
What is this
This
shit?
is a music video, apparently.
Yeah, but a music video played by one of those mid to early 90s groups where they get the keyboard that goes, wow! And they press it. Wow, wow, wow.
They forgot that they were supposed to have a rapper over the top. This is just the backing beats.
Stop. Don't touch. Call an adult. Leave the area.
Thanks, Eagle.
I know my gun safety.
What's that Eagles name again?
Eddie.
Not Robbie Eagles.
That's Eddie. It's
Oh.
Eddie Eagles, not Robbie Eagles.
Hard fighting.
Robbie Eagles is that Australian guy.
Hand-to-hand striking system.
The hand-to-hand strikes
With
with
Soberano.
sobering.
Just because his name is sober doesn't mean he
There are many
is.
reasons for owning a handgun, whether it's for competition,
No, it's sober.
self-defense,
Ah,
hunting,
no.
or just plinking. One
Not
common
sober.
denominator
That's
that
the same
all
thing that he
handgun
said.
owners share is a quest for
Never said in
accuracy.
there.
There is nothing quite
Quest
like
for
shooting an
Oh look, it's
extreme
Lenny McGill
accurate
when he was
handgun.
younger and his hair
I
wasn't
believe
so
that all high
straight
quality
and stuck in
name
place. It
brand
looked like a wig.
handguns are inherently accurate from the factory. The key is
So
understanding
the crew
how
for
to
these
tune
videos
the
are definitely
handgun,
minimal,
the
right?
ammo you
Like,
wish
there's
to shoot, the
really
conditions
probably
in
only
which you're
about
going
10
to shoot,
people that
and
actively
the
work on
intended
this
purpose.
stuff.
And
It
that
would be the
matters
people
for
that work
real
at this
So
particular
therefore-
shooting
Get the
range
most
as well. It's like
accuracy
their thing.
from your handguns. I'm
Therefore,
Lenny McGill. Welcome to Sighting In.
they can pump these out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, if they did over 300 videos, then there's a good chance they did. Once the rules were relaxed, they were able to have fully automatic videos.
Whenever I hear the term fully automatic, I just imagine holding a gun, someone going to rob you, and the gun just does it for you. And you're like, what?
Thanks,
happened?
gun!
You are welcome.
That's fully
No
automatic.
problem, Lenny. That's not my name. Okay, Lenny. See, the problem with the fully automatic guns. They just seem to think everybody's name is on it. So I'm always like you.
This is very victorious too.
Silence in hand with Lenny McGill.
Other tapes available.
No, this really was
In
just like
1950,
20 minutes
Jim
of ads
Clark
at the
Sr.
end.
Oh no, I pressed
founded
pause
his
as soon as
business
like
on a
I mean,
simple
stop on the
philosophy
recording as soon as I
to
took some
improve
snow.
the accuracy
Well,
and
since I
reliability of Ruger 22
But that was
semi-automatic
before the
pistols
tape itself
and
was finished, so,
1911 style handguns. He pioneered and perfected the production
There was
and
nothing after the
distribution of a 1911 style handgun that feeds and shoots the 38 Special cartridge. That's right,
Oh,
I
the
said
38
the 38 Special cartridge.
I'll
A
have
rimmed
two
case.
38 specials.
Jim Clark Sr. is much more than just a gunsmith.
One with extra
He's an
cheese.
inventor
He's
and
definitely
innovator, as well as a champion competition shooter,
I don't know about
becoming
that.
the first
He's got a gun
civilian to
protector.
ever win the NRA Bullseye Championship.
Local man, best with pistol.
Aw.
Today, more than 45
My brain
years
wanted
later,
to read that the
Clark
other way
Custom
around.
Guns is one of the
Local
premier
man with
custom
best
gunsmith
pistol.
shops in the world. Their work now includes
the best
custom
with best
services for a wide variety of firearms, including Ruger 22 pistols and 10/22 rifles, revolvers, 1911 style handguns
Jeez,
for
every
competition
gigantic
and
scope looks
self-defense,
silly.
as well as custom work for
Whoa.
shotguns and
That was
rifles.
a
Whoa.
pump action automatic gun.
They
That's
also
what
manufacture
Carl Anderson must
and
have.
sell
Yeah.
high quality,
I thought it was
high
silly,
tolerance
but it's
parts
real.
for 1911 framed handguns, Ruger Mark II pistols, and 10/22 rifles, along with complete.
Oh, we've been
drop-in
making
barreled
fun of him
actions
for so
Ruger
long for that, and then we
10/22
saw it
rifles.
actually happen.
Oh dear.
Jim Clark Jr. and
Just
his
like,
sister Kay Clark Mitchell
Motor City Machine
have
Guns
followed the
pointing at his
path
hand.
trailblazed
Yeah,
by
it's
their
just
father.
what-
just
Jim
like
is
it's
possibly the
Detroit.
greatest three-gun competition shooter to ever live, winning the Soldier of Fortune three-gun World Championship 4 different times. Kay is the World IPSC champion and three-time USPSA Nationals champion. They're joined by Jerry Michalik, internationally
Whoa.
known as the fastest revolver shooter
Ow.
in the world.
It's not very fast.
Together,
Dang.
they oversee the
It's a shooter, not
operation
reloader.
and management of Clark Custom Guns and their 150-acre shooting facility known as the Shootout, located in Princeton, Louisiana. This facility offers complete
You
firearms
think any of these
training
guys
for
are being
rifle,
disqualified
pistol,
for using
and
auto
shotgun.
aimers?
Jim Clark Sr.,
All of them.
Jim Clark Jr., Kay Clark Mitchalik, and Jerry Mitchalik are some of the greatest minds in the gunsmithing and competition shooting industries. With over 100 years of
greatest
collective
minds in an
experience,
industry
a
full of
complete
idiots.
machine shop, a 150-acre full facility range,
Oh, cool.
instruction classes for rifle, pistol,
They
and
get to
shotgun
ride
for
at the front
competition
of the
and
short
self-defense,
bus.
and complete
Now, we've learned
gunsmithing
about
services to
ATV
increase
safety, and she was
accuracy
not being
and
safe.
reliability in
being
your
safe.
firearms.
Somebody
Clark
should shoot her.
Custom Guns is uniquely qualified
In the
to
spring.
present the information
Wait, wait,
you're
wait.
about to see.
Someone said Clark.
It's probably Clark.
Clark. Other tapes
Speed.
available.
Awesome speed.
I'd love it if one of
There's
these
nothing quite
ads
like
was
it.
for a completely
Nothing so
unrelated
impressive
thing.
as when man
Like-
and his weapon become one.
Like
What's
just
it
like
take to develop a
sheep
skill
maintenance.
for you to be fast on the draw
Oh, look,
and
you can
fast
hear
from
the
start
end
to
of the
shot?
tape.
Well, that's what this program is all about.
Clicky, clicky,
We'll look at
clicky,
some of the
clicky.
fastest shooters in the world, compare their equipment, their techniques and methods, and talk with them.
Whoa, he just
Whoa.
got that window out of his gun!
My God, what a
How to
powerful
shoot
weapon.
fast and accurately.
Whoa!
That's a war crime right there.
That gun is too powerful.
He was connected to a rope.
Hollywood's made gun
Whoa.
arms like so
Those two.
loud that all of these things are like
I'm
impotent.
Lenny McGill. Shooting fast is easy. It's when you have to shoot fast and accurately that it becomes a lot more difficult. Now, I believe there are certain
windy
things
today,
you
mate.
can concentrate on that are going to help you shoot faster.
Yeah, watch out, the
And
bullets
that's what
might
this
fly
program
back
is
at
all
me.
about.
Firestorm.
Come on, we got time for one more trailer.
The Aquaman movie. Or broadcast video and films. Because it's sort of distorted. I kept saying, there's 5 bill. It was like, is that a collection one? Whoa! A free catalog.
Yes.
There are many ways to contact. So we're not going to tell you what they are.
Let's write a letter. Oh, there you go. Phone orders. And a website.
Oh, cool. It's at AOL.com.
Super professional.
I could use fax.
Good. You have your fax machine set up?
No.
So you guys going to email them for the catalog now?
I mean, we did it to the the cooking one, and we thought that was silly, and we ended up with a cookbook.
Yeah.
They'll send you a gun.
There's the snow. Ah. Yay! Gun safety.
Gun safety. So now we know
All about guns.
all
It
about
got
guns.
dark. It got dark. Why did it get so dark?
It just did. Whatever.
It's because we were talking about guns so much, so it gets pretty dark.
Yeah, there were some dark jokes in there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All good. Well, did someone take over?
Thanks for watching.
What do you want to watch next week?
Yeah,
So you want to go back to some sort of local
local
made
dude.
something?
Yeah, locally made anything.
Cool. Sounds good. Maybe I might bring that movie to watch. That might be fun. If there's nothing else like time wise, I'll check all the dates of things and see if I can put anything in date. If not, I think I like to watch that movie.
Sounds good.
Alright.
Cool.
Alright. Be kind to your mind. What else?
No!
I'm
That's
tired.
not safe! It's not safe! We just learned these things. We're
I'll
not
have to watch
paying
it again.
attention!
No, I don't. What we have to
Jesus.
do at the end, we have to unload our gun and put it back in on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, go put it back on the table.
You put 2 inside of a safe and then 45.
And you
on
don't
the
touch
table.
the ray gun.
No, don't touch the ring.
Too dangerous.
That one's just there to hook you in for the sequel.
That's right. Alright, well, thanks for watching, everybody. It's been fun.
How do I wave in a way that can people really go?
Look, they can't see shit right now.
Bye.
Bye!